Avatar, right?
Yep. Snubbed.
So then,
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, the
Yeah.
best out of the three so far.
Well, I guess it did get a visual effects, but
yeah. So it's not completely
Yeah.
snubbed.
yeah.
All right, welcome to the podcast. We're doing award season and
Woo!
Oscar picks this time.
Yes.
So we can talk about anything award season. I'm Alan, by the way. Hi.
I'm Rahana. And we have a guest returning to join us for this awesome episode, Mr. Zach Hamill.
Hello.
Hi, Zach.
I'm so excited.
Thanks for having me back. This is great.
Yeah.
This is awesome. As listeners and viewers may remember, Zach reviews films. Like that's something he just does as a job, which is very exciting because now you get a much more professional take than me just going, it's bad. So this is very exciting. But before we jump in, Alan,
We have new music videos.
yeah.
All of them new.
Oh.
So Zach, we have you choose between one of two music videos to react to.
Okay.
I will say mine is The Warning. Hello, right here. My merch finally came after 2 months of waiting. So,
Mine
they're
is
a rock band.
oh yeah,
Three sisters in a
all
rock band from
female
Mexico.
rock
Yeah.
band. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
who are
Cool.
so cool. Mine also very cool. Not remotely stereotypical for the white girl on the podcast. Mine is Taylor Swift. So I know this is probably a really tough decision.
I'm curious, Zach.
Take your time.
How do you lean in terms of pop rock?
Oh man,
That's the category
Just
you
pop?
see when you go to Cheapo and see it's all pop rock. It's
right.
that's not really it, but okay.
Yeah, it's so vague. It's like,
Yeah.
why not just have a section called music?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Oh man, no, well, I probably stopped actively seeking new music since 2005. So
Oh no.
Okay.
every once in a while, I don't know. I tend to re-listen to a lot of stuff. I'm still waiting
Okay.
for my favorite band, Cake, to finally put out a new album.
Yes.
They've been teasing it for over a decade.
Is that
It
there were
has to happen
two
at some point.
songs I've heard of there, Comfort Eagle, was that one?
That was one of their albums, yeah. Comfort
Okay.
Eagle. Well, and a song too.
It was a
yeah.
song, yeah. And then
yeah,
is it short skirt long,
short skirt, long jacket. Yeah,
long
Mhm.
jacket? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember those two.
Yeah. So I pick one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
you can pick either one.
Okay.
Mhm.
I will say if it
Um,
helps
yeah.
my case, Your Honor.
Oh, Just
This is
trying
a
to push
pick me
it.
episode. This is a pick me
Just-
nominations. We're picking, things. The Warning does trend towards older music too, like older
Hmm.
Oh,
metal.
okay. Well, if we're gonna do pick me and
Yeah.
and go with our
Yeah, do it.
our case, her video for this
Go,
song
go, go,
is
go, go.
90s themed. So
Hmm.
talk about old school.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Just throwing that out there.
Okay.
Not that the music is 90s themed, but the video is 90s.
The video,
themed.
yeah.
And you might see a lot of familiar faces,
Mm.
which is kind of fun.
Have you heard of
Mhm.
MTV?
I seem to remember that.
TRL is still waiting for that
Yes.
episode.
Okay. I'm gonna go with The Warning.
Yeah.
Only
Okay.
because I
Yes.
feel like Taylor Swift is doing pretty well and doesn't need my help.
That's true. No,
She
that's
needs your
accurate.
reaction, though. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't think she doesn't need your reaction. I need your reaction.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it was
I'll watch it offline and I'll send you my reaction.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me know. Let me know if you spot Killian Murphy
Okay.
because he's in it, and Don Hall. I don't remember his last name.
Oh, Domhnall Gleeson.
Yeah,
wow.
She was on Graham Norton, and everyone
okay.
that was on with her, including Graham Norton, is in the video, which is just really fun. Yeah, so
That's fun.
It's silly but fun.
Love it.
All right, Alan,
What is
bringing
this?
up.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
a sucker for an all girl rock
Yeah.
band.
And they
So,
really do rock. They are awesome.
All right. And so this one is called Evolve on MTV 2023. It's back.
Well,
Uh,
was back.
VMAs. Okay.
mm.
2023 VMAs.
Go, 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 go,
I'll
go.
have to look that up because I think it's like part of Paramount now. So,
Mm.
and I think they have a lot of these. All right. This isn't more one of their like regular rock songs. So,
Mm.
right. Recording. Hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was not the voice I was expecting.
Right?
Well,
Yeah, that's the other thing. They're all so talented. They can all do everything, and it's insane. It's just wild.
yeah.
The talent in this one family.
Yeah. Oh, they're a family too.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
sisters.
Oh, okay.
All three of them. It's bonkers.
I'm the Danger. Is that a
Yep.
reference to Breaking Bad?
Yes.
Oh, there's so much power in their sound. It
Yeah.
almost sounds like it's mid '80s.
Yep. That's what I was referring to with the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really worked the crowd. I
Yeah.
love it. Oh,
Oh, that's fun. Dang. Circling each other.
Yeah.
yes.
Oh my god.
That I did not expect.
It reminds me of Beastie Boys' Sabotage. That
Yes.
sort of
Yes.
guttural,
Yeah.
even like the descending kind of quality of it.
Yep. Battle cry.
Have you seen them, Alan? Have you seen them live?
Yes.
Woo!
All right.
That's fun.
They just have so much energy live.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Like all of the
Yeah.
like performances that we've watched. Just
Yeah. I feel like they're about to go sleep all day after that performance.
Yes.
There's so much energy.
Yeah.
A lot of
Oh, I
energy.
love it.
They do have, I mean, they've just gotten started because they're like about to release their newest single tomorrow.
Mm.
Um, music
Timely.
video. Yeah,
Yeah.
uh, official music video.
Nice.
Called Kerosene, and
Mm.
Ooh.
off of their new album, which would be, I think, what is this? One, two, three, four, five, the fifth album. So,
Mm. Mm.
Wow. That's the other thing. They started performing when they were like really young. So
Mm.
not
yeah,
only are they like all incredibly talented and like just so good at like what they do, but they've just been doing it since like
yeah, from
forever.
right to
It's
left
Yeah, I
awesome.
there,
bet.
right to left, Danny there is the oldest, lead guitar,
Mhm.
and then Pow on drums is middle sister, and then Allie on the bass.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
They're
they
so
just
good.
their live album, which I got my physical media pre-order for the 4K.
Nice.
I
Social
was
media.
I realize like now like everyone else who aside from people outside at least the US maybe or wherever streaming is more popular,
Mm.
people who want physical media are of a certain age, I think. So
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
or they own a 4K player now they have to because you want to watch this, right? Their live performance. So
Yeah.
but that thing's like
Yeah.
2 hours long. So that's like they've added
Mm.
over time how
Oh,
long their
sure.
concerts are. Just like one Taylor Swift is like a 3 hour show, right? For
Mm.
one night.
Mhm.
So they're obviously working their way up, but you know, one
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. 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 That's awesome.
So I was live at the Fillmore. I saw them, and before then I was more of a casual fan. So
Sure.
it was just kind of like I liked them. I liked them a lot enough to buy a T-shirt, you know, and
Mm.
then it was just so good. It was so good. I was
Mm.
standing on like Danny's side basically, so
Mm.
they kind of keep the same stage position for each show. So in terms of where
Mm.
they're at, so
Sure. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Rahana,
They're
are you
fun.
muted? What?
Yep. I don't know
Oh,
how that happened. But that's funny. I've never noticed that before, but you're right. Yeah.
yeah.
They they do. That's really cool.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's the warning, and yeah, hopefully the warning army will stick around for some Oscar picks and predictions,
Yeah.
or predictions, not picks, but you know.
Mm.
Yeah.
But I think you picked right
Predictions.
here, Zach. So, but you're right. They do have pull a lot of influence from early '80s, '90s, you know, rock and metal. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
do have quite a
Cool.
range, though. So,
Mm. I'll have to check out more of their stuff.
I do
Mhm.
recommend it. Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Cool.
So, if you like cake, I'm
Mhm.
trying to think which album you should start with.
Oh.
So
Yeah, I
many of
don't
their
know.
albums.
I like everything. So,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, and I don't know, sometimes I don't know. I guess I don't always go chronologically. Um but
Yeah.
but I think that's what's interesting about a body of work is that you can, wherever you discover them, you'd be like, "Oh, what else did they do?" And then,
Hmm.
Yeah.
just with any artist, whether they're a musician or a filmmaker or, you
Yeah.
know. So,
Mhm. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited to hear what you guys think, and I'm
mm,
so excited to disagree. Because I'm feeling stubborn this year.
mm.
This year. Um, it's a silly thing to say. Oof. All
Yeah,
right.
So we
enough
need
is
to talk.
enough.
Yeah,
Right?
we need to do talk about. We were talking about like our favorite gummy bears are definitely my favorite for a candy at the theaters.
Mm.
The triple feature: soda, popcorn, and gummies.
Mm,
So,
There you go.
yeah. I have
what's
to
your
go
favorites?
soda, popcorn, and even though I'm not allowed to eat popcorn right now,
Mm,
and I go peanut M&Ms.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I always do popcorn, and I don't always do candy, but
hmm
um, but when I do, it tends to be Reese's Pieces, or
Ooh.
my kids will tend to get my son will get gummy bears, and my daughter will get the gummy clusters, like the Nerds gummy clusters, and so we'll just kind of
Mm.
share from that. But and then and then I don't know. I haven't really had soda that much lately. I usually get it's like when I go to screenings and things, I'll just get a cup for water because it's like eventually as I'm eating popcorn, I'm gonna want a little bit of something, but I also don't want to get up and leave
Yes.
halfway through, or especially
That's a
like
tradition for me. I mean,
No,
save
I'm
some
with
for
you.
later.
I am totally with you.
But I get it, yes. Why not go with the large?
lately, I really like going to the Imagine Willow Creek. Well, and any of the
That's where
Imagine
I go.
theaters. Yeah.
Willow Creek,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, it tends to be my go-to, and part of the reason
Yeah.
why is because they have the Magic Pack, which is like the kids version, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is just enough popcorn.
Yeah.
There are times when I'll get like the big one.
Yeah.
I mean, I hardly ever get the big one. Usually, I'm forced into it because it's
Yeah.
what they have.
Yeah.
But I love it. They're like, oh yeah, no, just this. Like, great. That's all I need.
Mhm.
I'm a sucker for Imagine. I invest in the refillable bucket, so it's just
Yeah.
Mm.
like
Yeah.
very cheap to. It's like, no, I know I'm coming back. It's just,
Yeah,
That's
you're
super.
invest. Yep,
Yeah.
you have a definite investment in it.
You have to at least go. I think it's like 5 times to make up your
Sure.
cost. I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. I think Marcus does that too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Marcus
They
Oh,
do.
West
nice.
End. We get those too.
Oh, you got those.
So, so
Yeah.
I didn't know about the Imagine bucket until a couple days ago.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I knew Marcus had one. So
Yeah.
and then that ends up being like a nice thing for toys or whatever later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Like,
Yeah.
I do make popcorn at home, so yeah. Anyways,
Mhm.
award shows.
Yeah.
What shows?
The same hosts every show every year, apparently now, forever.
I mean, honestly, I feel like so many of them have had bad experiences with some of the hosts that they've picked that, like, if they find someone who's working, yeah, stick with it if they're willing to do it again.
Mm.
Yeah.
Don't risk it.
Yeah.
Go with what you know works.
Yeah. So I haven't watched a full awards show in many years, and part of it is just because we have children, and like basically since
Yeah.
I've had children, I don't really watch the full shows anymore. But I like that they clip them out on YouTube and things. But I always try to watch the monologues and the
Yeah.
speeches of the people that I'm rooting for.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I thought Nikki Glazer was really great at the Golden
Yeah.
Globes.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
thought she was even better this year than she was last year. Like a kind of a more variety of jokes for her. And then
Mhm.
I'm just like tickled that Conan's doing it again. I
Yeah.
actually watched the Oscars. Last year was the first Oscars I had watched since my kids were born, basically.
Nice.
So
Because it was
and-
streaming too, right?
well,
I'm
because
just
I think I think a lot of it was just like, oh, Conan's hosting. Like, I
Yeah.
hope this is weird, like
Yes.
like David
Yep.
Letterman, 1994 weird,
Mm.
and
Yes.
it was great.
Oh, the Letterman
Oh.
days. Those were so funny. And so outrageous, like with, yeah, all
Yeah,
the janitor.
yeah.
All the bits.
Yep.
All right, so we'll kind of proceed up, like, I think the right column.
Sure.
Starting from number 24.
Yeah. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
just go in reverse. We'll
20,
just go
24
reverse.
and then we'll jump to 20.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the first one on our ballot is, and I'll post it up in our little video. Casting.
Mhm.
Who would like
So-
to read nominees?
I'll read the nominees.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Right. And the nominees for casting are
The presenter for casting.
Yes.
Right, the nominees are Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners.
All right, Zach, you presented it, so I'm curious as to what your
You brought it
like
up.
like what you want to talk about it.
Yeah.
No, but who do you think who do you want to win, and who do you think will win realistically?
Um, it's a tricky one. I would say not Hamnet. Um, uh, Marty Supreme has like the most amazing faces in it. One Battle After Another has a lot of non-actors in terrific performances. Same with
Mhm.
Marty Supreme. But I think Sinners will win, and I want Sinners to win. Just because of the ensemble and just I don't know, they all work together to create this unbelievable transportive experience. So
Mhm.
that would be my pick, and that's who I think will win.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I really want Sinners to win. I hope Sinners wins. I because you're right. I mean, it's not just like, okay, I have to have chemistry with person A and person B, and
Mm,
then I'm in a scene with a bunch of other people but don't have to have chemistry. Like everybody had to have very specific chemistry with each other, with the whole
mhm,
group in order to make
mhm,
that work, and it works perfectly. So
mhm.
I'm with you. I agree.
Okay. This is
Alan?
the first year with this category
Hmm.
Yeah.
casting, so
Yeah.
and it refers to like the casting agent, and I think there was a joke
Yeah.
last year about that too, where you get to watch the person who didn't cast you win an award or something.
Oh, yeah.
Something. It was
That's a
just like,
good point. That's so
or
sad.
maybe that was a side. Maybe I heard that somewhere else. I can't remember, but
Hmm.
within the last year, that
Yeah.
I've had that on my mind. Like, oh yeah, that's like, oh.
Yeah. Mhm.
um, I think, yeah, I do think Sinners would win, especially since what happened with SAG.
Hmm.
The
Mhm.
best overall cast
Right, yeah.
was Sinners, and
Ensemble, right, yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I did like the cast for Hamnet, so
Mhm. Sure.
um, I haven't seen Marty Supreme, so a lot of I'm kind of blind on that right now, so I don't
Mhm.
know a whole lot other than
Hmm.
table tennis. So,
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Marty Supreme has just like a really insane mix of just incredible faces and also just like people you haven't seen in a long time.
Hmm.
Like
mm,
Isaac Mizrahi pops up. Penn Jillette from Penn and Teller is in there. Just like using them so uniquely and
Hmm.
um yeah, yeah, I mean they make this whole just this stew. Um
Yeah.
that yeah, it's wild.
And it's cool. I didn't know this until I was researching after watching it. But the guy who he's playing against in the end, who he plays against again,
Mm-hmm.
um, is that this is his first film role,
Mm-hmm.
and he's actually like I don't know if he's like the national or a world champion in table tennis. So
Mm-hmm.
he's a professional table tennis player. So like he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, you want to play table tennis
Mm-hmm.
and embarrass Timothy Chalamet? I'm in. And it's just great.
Yeah.
So I thought
Yeah.
that was really cool that they like
Mm-hmm.
went about it that way.
Yeah. Similarly with One Battle After Another, there's lots of people who have never acted before. There's the when DiCaprio has the meeting with his daughter's teacher. Uh,
Mm,
I think that's her first movie, and then
really?
there's the like the interrogator soldier guy who
Hmm.
works with Sean Penn. And his character's name is Danvers, but I guess he was actually a federal agent for years and years who would interrogate people, and they
Wow.
when they were talking about filming those scenes, especially the scenes with the kids who also had never, they're like,
Oh
all right,
yeah.
we're just going to play this scenario, and your one directive is you're not going to give up information about Willa's phone.
Yeah.
And like
Oh,
you can take the
funny.
scene anywhere you want, and You
Oh
know,
no.
That's brilliant.
Wait,
How
what?
fun.
yeah. So
That
even
was
that's how you get great
mumblecore
lines
scene?
like,
That's
what's
so
that?
fun.
Was that a mumblecore scene?
Oh, like improv.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I mean, a
Unscripted.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of it was like sort of,
Whoa.
like,
Okay.
do I look like your parents? Kind of.
Oh, that makes that so much more fun.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
knowing that. That's really cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
So there
yeah.
you go. You don't have to write every scene.
Mhm.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. They said a lot of it came together in production, especially when they cast
Oh, yeah.
Benicio
Yeah.
del Toro. His
Mm,
character was conceived of very differently, and a lot of the ideas for that section of the film came from his casting, which, you know, yeah,
wow.
I think it's incredible when you can be like that fluid in your creative process, and to have casting play such a part in that is
Hmm.
it's a lot of
Yeah.
trust. So
Absolutely. No
yeah.
kidding.
All
Oh,
right.
all right. So the
So
next
now
category.
we'll. I'll make mention because I of shorts. If you have anything to
Oh,
mention,
yes.
um, I just wanted to say I did see documentary shorts, quite a few of them. Armed Only with the Camera is really good. They're all really good in the doc shorts, I
Mhm.
think. If you can see them, obviously they're short. You can spend a quick moment to watch those. All the Empty Rooms was about like victims of school shootings and their
Mhm.
Hmm.
bedrooms. Um, Armed Only with a Camera. That's about a journalist who is killed in Ukraine.
Hmm.
Um, I haven't seen some of these other. Devil is Busy. I just saw the filmmaker on The Daily Show. She had also done The Perfect Neighbor for the
Oh,
documentary
yeah.
feature.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Um,
wow. So
Oh,
she's
so
got
she's
two in
nominated
there.
twice?
yep, two.
Oh my
That's really
gosh.
cool.
It's like, oh
Go
wow,
her.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
No one else applied
Dang.
yet. No, well,
She's like,
2025, I
well,
guess. Yeah.
she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really liked Armed Only with a Camera, but I think like I don't know much about these other two films that I couldn't find anywhere. Children No
Hmm.
More Were and Are Gone,
Mm.
and I have a hint of what that might be about. So it's like
Mm.
Yeah.
I assume it's not able to be seen here for certain reasons.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
a good
make
point.
mention of that, and then I didn't see any of the other shorts except for The Singers, was it?
Yeah, I was gonna
Rahana?
say we watched The Singers.
Yeah.
Honestly, I loved it.
That's what I
I
keep
know
hearing. Yeah. I,
It's
it's
on
like, I
Netflix,
mean,
so
it's
yeah.
like a legitimate short where it's like, what is it, like 15 minutes or under 15 minutes, I think. But on Netflix, and
it's
it's
like
18 minutes.
18
Yeah.
18 minutes.
Yeah.
And I mean, it like, oh, some of the voices
Mm.
so good. And like one of them just kind of moves you, and like it's so good. I
Mhm.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I've heard amazing things about that one, and
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to my friend Aaron Brown Thomas, who is one of the credited associate producers on The Singers.
Oh, cool.
So congratulations getting your movie into the Academy Awards. My
Yeah.
gosh. Woo.
It's incredible,
yeah.
and you guys did an amazing job. So
Yeah.
And
props to everyone.
I do have a friend that was co-producer on a Armed Only with a Camera, so
Oh wow. Awesome.
So cool.
Hmm.
You
Small
guys,
world.
yeah,
we're
small.
1 degree away from being in the Oscars.
That's right.
That's how that works.
You guys are 1 degree away. I'm 2 degrees away. But yeah. Oh, awesome.
Rahana, if you want to
All
get the
right.
next one.
So the next category is sound,
Ooh.
which I'm actually really interested to hear what you guys think about. But so the nominees are F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Sirat. Is it Sirat?
I believe it's
Surat, I
Surat.
think, yeah.
Sirat? Okay.
Mhm.
I will admit I have not seen Sirat.
Mhm.
So I've heard really, really good things about it. Actually, from Jeff, our
Yep.
composer friend.
Same here.
So
He blew up
yeah.
everyone apparently. Then no, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
So I'm sad that I didn't see it.
Yeah,
But
same.
I don't know. Honestly, you guys, I gotta go with F1 on this. Like the sound that had to come through for like the racing scenes and everything, especially because it's all real. It's the way that they filmed that is the way they filmed the new Top Gun movie. So like it's actually happening. They're actually racing all of that. So like you got to make this sound good and then like balance it and get the music and
Mhm.
yeah, I have to go with that. I hope it
Yeah.
wins. Zach, what about you?
F1 would also be my pick too. Just yeah, same reason. Just being in the theater, listening to that and watching it,
Mhm.
and then with Hans Zimmer giving one of his best scores
Yes.
in years.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I think yeah, that one is incredible. Yeah, that would definitely be my pick. I will say that I'm about halfway through Sarat right now.
Oh,
Um, and and the sound in that movie is incredible as well. Just the way it, because it's about like kind of the rave scene,
yeah.
but the way it
okay.
balances like rave music with um like desert sounds, and yeah, I mean the work they do in that movie is it's incredible in a way that's and this tends to be a showier category. Like the
Yeah.
voters always tend to go for something more showy anyway, because I don't think anybody really knows how sound works.
Yeah, pretty
You
Except for the
know?
much.
sound engineers,
Right, except for the sound engineers. So
Yeah.
yeah, but like
or
yeah, F1 in
editors.
particular. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would maybe also throw Sinners in there because of what they do with
Yeah.
music, but I mean, I'm sure it'll probably be more lauded for music than
Yeah.
category.
No, I was singing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Ellen?
I haven't seen Sarat, so I can't really speak to it. I do feel like F1 is one of the, again, it just comes back to, I think a lot of the car movies win in this
Sure.
category, like
Go go
Ford v
go go go
Ferrari
go.
won, and I
Yeah.
think something else
Yep.
racing related also got it. But
Hmm.
yeah, it makes a little more sense, but I guess um like compared to like Ford v Ferrari, it's not as many races as I recall comparatively.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because there's more scenes of them actually doing other things besides racing too. So,
Mhm.
Right. Yeah.
which I enjoy because that makes it a better
Yeah.
film. And okay, we get it. You race. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. The big race.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's funny. Every race in F1 is the big race. That's how it
Yeah.
Yeah,
feels to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's
I
like on
think.
this journey of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Hmm.
making his comeback, sort of, or whatever. Yeah.
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 Um. Yeah, I guess F1 maybe Surratt. Like you said, Surratt maybe because again I haven't heard that, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like Frankenstein.
Hmm.
I like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
for this category. So
Hmm.
cool. Okay.
Okay.
So next is visual effects.
I can read that.
Okay.
The nominees for visual effects are Avatar: Fire and Ash, F1, Jurassic World Rebirth. Sorry, I
I
had such a
I
visceral. That was such a visceral reaction. I have a story.
I'm so happy that this happened.
I'm turning bright red now. All right, there's two more nominees: The Lost Bus and
Yes.
Sinners. Yeah. I would say Avatar. I feel like, I think the Academy will probably be like, come on, man, and want to throw the bone that way.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, it is, you know, the Avatar movies are fascinating because like I don't really think about them when I'm not watching them, but when I'm watching them, I'm invested, and
Mm.
Yeah.
especially this last one, it was really like probably the best 3D ever, 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 ever.
Oh, you saw it in
And
3D?
yeah,
You
yeah,
have to. They don't
yeah.
let you not.
I mean, I didn't, so.
Oh, well.
Huh.
You're not going to the same theaters. No, I'm just kidding.
um, but yeah, and just a quick thing about Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yeah.
So so my movie, my film reviewing, I I go by the moniker Movie Friend. I review movies that I love or like or want to champion. I
Mhm.
so badly wanted to write a review for Jurassic World Rebirth because I was
Yeah.
like, it, I was sitting next to my friend in the theater, and about halfway through, I'm just like, I'm struggling, man. Um,
Oh
and he was,
Yes.
yeah, he was equally hating it, and
no. Oh.
Yeah.
yeah, I just my review, my one sentence review is, you will be begging for a meteorite to hit your theater.
Oh. See?
I
Mine
was
boiled
so I was
down
so
to one
excited for
word.
it too, though, like because
Yeah.
Gareth
Yeah.
Edwards, I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, he's gonna bring something, and
Yep.
David Kep returning, and those actors, and it's like,
Hmm.
wow, you just collected paychecks and wasted our time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I feel
yeah.
like I enjoyed it solely for the cast.
Hmm.
Like the story,
Hmm.
I, I think that we like left the theater making jokes about like so much of the story.
Yeah.
Where I was like, okay, guys. Um, but I was like, oh, but like Jonathan Bailey was so fun in it, and I liked ScarJo in that role. Like it seems like a her role. Like,
Hmm.
and I love Mahershala Ali in anything.
Hmm.
And so I was like trying to focus just on like the acting. And so by the time we got home, I was like, you know what? I think I liked it.
Oh, all
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I
Well, good for
liked
you.
it. Yeah, because like
It's
I
an
talked
Oscar
myself into it.
nominee.
That's the thing I would not support that.
Yeah.
So
I
what's
don't
your
know. I
vote?
feel like I feel like there's another movie though that there was. I feel like there was another visual effects movie that should have got it instead. Or I'm gonna check my list. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While you look at that, to give you a second to pull it up, I I would also probably go with Avatar. I will admit I didn't see The Lost Bus. I want to, but
Same.
What is
Yeah.
I
that?
still it's
That's
with
Matthew McConaughey.
and America Ferrera.
It's for Apple
Yeah.
Films, Apple TV
Oh,
Plus.
really? Oh, I
It's
Yeah.
could
like
watch
it's
that. I
like
didn't.
the
Paul
fire.
Greengrass directed it, so you know it'll
Wow.
be good
Yeah.
and harrowing and
I'll have to look for that
realistic.
one.
But
Yeah, like
yeah,
there's a fire. I don't know if it's somewhere in California and they're
yeah,
evacuating and
it was
like
based on a
these
real wildfire. Yeah.
kids are stuck in at a school or something
S-
up in the hills and
Yeah.
so but it's all thoroughly just burning down and so Matthew McConaughey has to make the decision because he's a school bus driver. Do I go and try and save them or do I
Hmm.
go home to my family and son and make sure that like my family's safe? And
Yeah.
whew,
This is
it
one thing
looks
I
good.
don't like about Apple TV. They don't like, here are the nominees, this category or something. It's just like,
I know I wanted that so bad.
I
Yeah.
Um,
didn't know. It's like,
yeah,
and I have it, and they're not really good at
Yeah.
that. Anyways.
but
Yeah.
but yeah, Avatar. I personally think I'm like you. I don't think about it when I'm not watching them.
Hmm.
Um, to the point where when a new one comes out, I'm kind
20
of like,
years later.
I'm like, yeah, I'll see it. Like, of course I'm gonna see it.
Yeah.
I'm not like jonesing to go see it the way that I am
Yeah.
other movies, but I'm still like, yes, I'm gonna give it a
Hmm.
shot. Honestly, I feel like I keep liking the like when one comes out, I like it more than the last. And this one I think is
Same.
my favorite by
Hmm.
far.
Yeah.
Um, God, it was so good. And I mean
Yeah.
the whole thing is visual effects. Everything you see is visual effects. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
yeah, it has to yeah.
Hmm.
If it doesn't win, then someone's buddying up to somebody and shenanigans. So
Hmm. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, I haven't seen The Lost Bus or Avatar yet. I
you
wanted
haven't seen
to.
Avatar yet?
No, have you not been paying attention of what's going on? No.
Oh,
Um, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm not
Um,
mad, Alan. I'm just really disappointed.
I wanted to, but during that time it was a pretty busy stuff going on. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes
but I
sense.
do think Avatar would win this category. Jurassic World Rebirth. Oh,
Hmm.
what a sad movie. I wanted to like it too. Like the
Yeah.
first like 11 minutes I liked, but
Hmm.
Mhm.
when they're like in New York and like all the things are like, oh, okay,
Coming
we're going
together.
somewhere here in New York, right? No. Nope.
Yeah.
You're not even going to get a scene together. It's like you
That's
are here. and you are out
Hmm.
there. So it's like,
Yeah. That's the
My,
other thing is
yeah.
like at the very end of the last movie, the like Chris I was gonna say Chris Evans, Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard movie,
Yeah.
like when
oof,
they
that
like
was rough too.
they get loose and they're all over and you can see them flying around the world and like going around and like they're ending up on other continents. I'm like, oh, okay, so like this is gonna be like, all right, well, we're
Hmm.
getting it. This is like King Kong, but Jurassic World in,
Hmm.
like the US or something. And then it was
Yeah.
like not. And I was like, oh,
Hmm.
At least it
that
had
made me
more
sad.
dinosaurs. Like this one felt like a lot of acting and then some dinosaurs. Like
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
Jurassic
like fake
World was like a
dinosaurs.
backdrop. It wasn't even a character in this, except for the
Yeah,
Meg dinosaur. So
right.
basically,
Right. Yeah. I another short review I'd write for Jurassic World is like if you could only see one movie this season starring Scarlett Johansson and Rupert Friend, see Wes Anderson's The Phoenician Scheme.
oh yeah,
they're
that came
they're
out
both in
too. Yeah,
it.
I will say I also did not see that. um,
Hmm.
that one was on purpose. So I don't I
that's an
can't
acquired taste too.
I
Yeah,
struggle with those movies.
Wes Anderson. Yeah,
Yeah, like
Hmm.
the humor in it
Sure.
beyond the Royal Tenenbaums, which is still classic. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I think I need to give some of those a chance. But I because the casts are
This
all
one,
amazing.
yeah.
Everyone is amazing.
Well, I would say that well, speaking of the Royal Tenenbaums, I would say that Phoenician Scheme feels like the Royal Tenenbaums, but made by the Wes Anderson who made the Grand Budapest Hotel.
yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
Like just a lot more of his, now he's like very dialed in on his style and
Yeah.
maybe it doesn't it I don't feel like it ever reaches those heights, but
Mhm.
yeah, but I was really moved by a lot of it and also the Tom Hanks and Bryan Cranston have the funniest scene in the movie. A play of or a scene of like pickup basketball, and it's just a
Oh,
riot.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
That's the thing that gets me with
yeah,
his movies. It has like the biggest, most exciting cast every single time, and I'm
hmm
like, oh,
yeah,
I want to see this so badly because
yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
Well, I'm
because
loving
I might
everyone.
seeing
have to give
Tom
it a shot.
Hanks. Like
Right?
this is his second Wes Anderson movie. It's like I'm really liking Tom Hanks's Wes Anderson era.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna go next to makeup and hairstyling.
Hmm.
Uh, of course, I picked this one when I can't pronounce one of these. Okay. Frankenstein.
Hmm.
Anybody want to help me with the next one? I've never even heard of it.
I'm gonna say Kakuho, but I don't know.
Kokuho. Sinners, The
Hmm.
Smashing Machine, and The Ugly Stepsister. Um, admittedly, I've seen two of these and I've heard of three. So I don't know that I can I don't know. Um, Frankenstein, I think maybe could well makeup. Yeah, because makeup because of the monster. I'm gonna go with Frankenstein. I don't really know. I don't have a strong opinion here.
Hmm.
What about you guys?
I agree. I think it's going to be Frankenstein. I saw Kohu or
Okay.
in was in theaters.
Hmm.
That's all I know about it. um, the Smashing Machine I did see, and Sinners, of course. So,
Hmm.
Yeah.
what's the Ugly Stepsister?
I don't
That
know.
is
It sounds
yeah.
mean.
It's a I can't remember what country it's from, but and I haven't seen it,
Oh yeah,
but it's
it's a
like
horror.
kind of like a Cinderella story with plastic surgery or like reconstructive
Oh,
surgery.
Oh yeah.
It looks really wild. It actually looked a bit too
That's right.
much for me, which is why I didn't watch it. I'm just like, I just don't
where
need
Yes.
can people watch
this
it?
That's
level of imagery in my brain.
yes.
Oh,
Um,
No,
Hulu,
I
Hulu
remember
Disney.
now.
Okay.
oh, okay.
Now that you mentioned that, I do remember seeing a trailer for that, and I was
Hmm.
like, it made me as uncomfortable as The Substance made me. Like
Yeah.
where I was just like, this is giving me an actual physical, visceral like reaction that I don't
Yeah.
like watching this,
Yep.
which it's doing on purpose. So it's
Mm,
serving its purpose, but absolutely not. Having
yeah.
said that, honestly, it might win. Because they gotta do some like they do some creepy stuff, but I
Yeah.
hope I yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, I've seen three of the films on here. I've seen Frankenstein, Sinners, of course, and The Smashing Machine. Um, just a quick thing about The Smashing Machine, which
Yes.
is, um, I it was so fun to watch the movie because I was like, The Rock, or Dwayne Johnson is really great in this movie, but then it made me think Dwayne Johnson is great in every movie he's in.
Hmm.
Like, even if the movie's not that great, like
He's good.
he's good like all the time.
Yeah.
So, I it seems like a career move to try to reach for something he hasn't had. And certainly there are notes that he has not had has never been given the opportunity to play. But, it's like he's good and he's always good. And
Yeah.
the movie around him I felt was okay. It kind of took some
Mm.
interesting made some interesting choices that where I think it might have. We already have you know, this Dwayne Johnson performance. Why do they need to make the narrative structure a novelty as well? Like,
Mm.
even if the story was a little bit more like traditional in terms of sports biopic type thing, I think it would have had more success possibly.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Because that seemed what it was being marketed as.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think my pick's going to be Frankenstein. Um, because I feel like if it doesn't win this, it's going to go home empty-handed. Like, I just feel like there's
Yeah.
so much kind of it's got a lot of nominations, but with it being political, like
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro movies tend to do, you know,
Yeah.
like they tend to achieve highly in these craft categories.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So
I will say, I expected to not like Frankenstein. It was one of the films where I was like, oh, fine, I have to watch it. We're gonna sit and watch it.
mm,
Blah, whatever. I'm gonna be on my phone half the time.
mm,
Just super disrespectful about it. And I was so moved by this film
same.
and I could not stop watching. I wanted it to keep going.
Hmm.
I loved it. And I
Yeah.
never expected like
Hmm.
I would have been like, okay, maybe there's a chance that I'll like it or I'll be okay with it. I loved it and I've
Hmm.
recommended it to so many people since. So I
Yeah.
I do hope it gets something because it was a
Hmm.
beautiful, beautiful film.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. I think
Mm.
the stuff Jacob Elordi was doing, and we'll get there, but
Yeah.
like the stuff he was doing, like without the
Hmm.
benefit of even seeing his face in the beginning, like when
Yeah.
when he slipped through the ice, I immediately was like, I
Yeah.
gasped. I was like,
Yeah.
no, like, I'm like,
Yes.
wow, they got me.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm locked in now.
Yeah. You're like absolutely on this guy's side and you're just
Mm,
like and it's not like he's having full-blown conversations or even talking for a big portion of the movie.
yeah,
And so
talk
the fact
about
that he
a
can, oh,
yeah.
talk talk about a miss for like maybe some casting there too in that category.
Mm.
Just saying, for under the casting category, it's like, well, what about this cast?
yeah,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
no,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Um, yeah,
Right.
because like Mia Goth and
Hmm.
the
Yeah,
guy
yep.
from Inglourious Bastards,
Yeah, Christoph
Christoph
Waltz.
Christoph Waltz.
Waltz.
Yep.
I
Mm,
really enjoyed him in this one. He felt
yeah.
like he felt like a real person
Hmm.
more than he normally feels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
He,
enjoy his performances. It's just like he's kind of the guy you go to when you want to bring a little flair or theatricality to it. And
yeah.
he seemed like very kind of grounded, and I just found him very compelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone just crushed it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Frankenstein.
Yeah. Okay.
So costume design is Avatar, Fire and Ash, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. I
All right.
think Who did I pick for costume? I picked Frankenstein. Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
I
it'll win 2 words.
yeah.
See?
I didn't pick this one because I couldn't decide.
Hmm.
I feel like one, I don't understand, and maybe I'm just dumb and not fully grasping the costume design, the expanse, oh, words are hard. The array of like what is considered
Go go
under
go go
costume
go go
design.
go go
But
go
like
go.
Avatar, they're just in the suits with the things all over them, and then the costumes are put on them later. No one is wearing actual clothes except for the humans, which is like a handful of people, and
Right.
that's most like I was like, why this I don't know. Anyway,
Sure.
um so I'm confused about that nomination, but I mean, like the rest of them, honestly, like I feel like all of them do such a good job, especially I'll say Frankenstein, Hamnet, and Sinners. I think they all do an excellent job with costume. If any of those three win, I'll be like, yep, nope, totally makes sense.
Mhm.
No qualms. If Avatar wins, I'm gonna be like, who is high in voting? What is happening? And if Marty Supreme wins, I'm gonna be like, okay, guys,
Hmm.
sure.
I mean, that's
Uh,
interesting about Avatar though, because it's like all of those elements still had to
Yeah.
be designed, you know, and
yeah,
in probably much the same way. But yeah, no, that is an interesting point, and it's kind of a cool nomination in a way where you
yeah,
go, like, not only do we have to design these things, but we have to make them believable on,
that's a good point.
on these things that apart from the actors providing the source of the motion capture,
Yeah,
they're not there.
Right.
that's
Yeah.
that's true. That's a good point.
Go 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 go
But
go.
yeah,
It would still
um,
be weird if it won though.
yeah. Uh, all right, let's go down to production design.
Is it me?
Um, number 16. Yes.
Okay. Production design, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. I'm gonna go with Marty Supreme. I'm just thinking of just because of the sheer number of locations
Mm-hmm.
and like in New York and the country and Japan and
Oh yeah.
everywhere that they go, and to make it like this sort of grimy, scuzzy period piece.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. That would be my pick. Um, and also the production designer is the legendary Jack Fisk, who I'm not sure if he's won, but he's designed There Will Be Blood and
Oh wow.
a lot of Terrence Malick films and Killers of the Flower Moon. He's sort of like one of the go-to period piece production designers.
Okay.
But yeah, that would be my pick.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. I went with Frankenstein
Same.
mostly because I just kept thinking about the um whole setup and design of the castle or whatever it
Yeah,
is
the lab.
where all the
Mhm.
yeah and
Yeah.
like the vast like it was insane. Although I mean they did have quite a few locations as well, and since you kind of mentioned that, it's not something I would have thought of, and even like on the ship as it's in out in that area. So
That's true.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I went with Frankenstein, but again, I feel like this one could go almost to any of them, and I wouldn't be like I'd be like,
Yeah, true.
yeah, it makes sense.
Hmm.
Honestly, they all crushed it,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's hard to be mad about any of it.
Hmm. Well, also thinking of production design as location too, because you think
Yeah,
of like, you know, like the whole ending of One Battle is that car chase. It's that they
yeah.
found that road, you know?
Hmm. No kidding. Ooh.
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh, all right, Alan.
I already said. Same as yours.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Frankenstein. So,
Hmm.
All right.
all right.
Um, film editing. I'm excited. We have a new one that we haven't a new film we haven't seen yet, I think, in this, so we're good. Film editing. So nominations are F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, and Sinners.
Hmm.
I want to know what you guys think first.
Mm, I pick Sinners.
Okay,
Mm.
okay. I like
Um,
it.
talk about like playing two people at the same time.
Mm,
And
yeah.
then seeing some of how they this might fall a little bit under visual effects, but it was editing too. But just like the backgrounds I've seen, like filling in the whole train station, all that wasn't there. That's
Mm.
these sort of things
Oh,
that
it wasn't?
aren't. No.
Oh, I didn't know
So,
that.
and then of course all the magical elements and the vampy scenes. So,
Mhm.
and feel free to, yeah, obviously spoiler alert. I'll just put up the
Yeah,
subtitle or
all
something at
spoiler
the
alerts.
beginning.
Yeah.
But anyways, um,
Yeah.
yeah, my biggest sinners.
Hmm.
Zach, how
I've
about you?
seen them all. So. No, I
Yeah.
haven't. I haven't seen Marty Supreme. Sorry.
Hmm. Gosh, they are all. I mean, they really are like the top.
Mhm.
So I have a question for you two. Since you saw Marty Supreme, is it like what was the tennis one?
Challengers?
Challengers? Is it like that in a sense at
No,
all?
No.
no.
Challengers is, I'm gonna say something controversial here. Challengers was so much better. And the way
Okay.
that it like cut between different things, and I thought
Yes.
was just
Mm.
slam dunk. That was one last year where I was just livid doing this episode, and I was like, Challengers wasn't nominated for anything.
I
Um,
know that was such a bad
that
call.
was a letdown, yeah.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
no, it had a totally different vibe
Mm.
than,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It would be like if you went to the movie theater and you were like, "Oh, okay, Challengers," and then the movie was like, "Surprise, Uncut Gems," and
Yes, exactly. Uncut Gems. It was
Oh
a
no.
Challengers version of Uncut
Yeah.
Gems. Yes.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
like
Okay.
I would say,
So pretty
I said,
stressful.
yeah. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I would say you might need to watch Uncut Gems just to calm down from Marty
Yes.
Supreme. I felt like I
Oh.
was constantly on the verge of a panic attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and then on top
Yeah.
of the very end, I was screaming at the TV. I was like, Timothy Chalamet, Marty, like, how dare you think you can do all this, and then you just at the end you're just like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm a normal human being now. I was like, no, you're not. Get out of there. I was so mad.
You had a whole monologue about how you're not a normal human
Yeah.
being.
Like, you're a horrible person. I think that's one thing I did. And it
Yeah.
feels very, I mean, it was the same filmmaker or
Yeah,
same
as
director
Uncut
as
Gems. Yeah.
Uncut Gems. So it makes
Oh,
sense.
that
But
makes more
same
sense.
thing
Yeah.
where it's like every character
Which
is actually a
softy.
terrible person.
Yeah.
Like they just really are. They're all horrible
Yeah.
for one reason or another, except for like his mom. And that was it. But yeah, I think that's one thing that I struggled with that movie.
Mhm.
I did not. I watched it and then I was like, it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. They did a really good job with what it is. It was fine. But I
Yeah.
think that's one reason is because of the way that it ended with him.
Mhm.
And also the fact that everybody's just a terrible person. I need somebody who I can at least halfway root for. I was rooting for the dog and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Oh,
yeah, it was and I don't want to spoil it because
I know I'm trying not to.
yeah, no, you're doing
No,
a great
it's
you're
fine.
doing
I
a
don't
great job
care.
not spoiling it.
I don't
It's I mean, it's fascinating because like just I mean on craft levels all over the place from the acting to the design to the music.
Yeah.
It's just like
care. I don't care if you spoil. Just say what you
Incredible.
want to say. So.
Yeah.
But you I don't know, at the end I just didn't I
It
just
didn't
I
feel
felt
like it paid off.
I felt all the sensations and as time has gone on I'm just sort of like look,
Yeah.
why
Yes.
why that?
Why? Yeah.
You
Like
know?
I don't know what
Does it
the
end like
the like
Uncut Gems?
No.
no.
Okay.
Honestly, I would have almost preferred that it had. I was
Yeah,
kind of hoping that it was
that's what it
going
sounds
to.
like.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
hoping it would, so that way I could just be like, okay, that makes sense. But
Mhm.
no, it
Yeah.
it didn't. It
It
ended,
was
and I
only
was
half a
like,
softie because the other one was making
Right.
yeah,
The Smashing Machine. Yeah.
smashing. Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. That reminds me of my favorite Letterboxd review for Uncut Gems. It just said, if I were him, I wouldn't have done any of that.
exactly. Yes.
And I was
I
like,
would
well,
have
the
made
only thing that
every
he
other
does that's
decision.
good is he does go in for his colonoscopy. So like that's one good decision he makes.
In the Smashing Machine?
In Uncut Gems.
Oh, Uncut Gems. Yes, 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 yes. That's honestly, I would have the same review with Marty Supreme.
Mm,
I would not have made any of the decisions that he made. Every
yeah.
decision he made, I was like, dude, what are you do? What? Ugh. And then and
Mm,
he had the audacity. I was so
yeah.
mad walking
Yeah.
out of there.
Yeah.
Anyway, I totally derailed us. I apologize.
What were we
So
talking about? Film
film
editing?
editing, my pick is F1.
Yeah.
Sinners.
It yeah, honestly,
And
yeah. I
Zach,
just
what
feel
was your
like
pick on this one?
I'm going between so I know about Sinners that they tried many different versions of it. They tried even like a 90-minute version of it, and they were
oh
like,
really?
that's not enough time to tell this story.
Yeah.
Um, I feel, gosh, I mean, Sinners has so many tones that it's juggling.
Hmm.
So I will say that I want Sinners to win, but I think F1 will win
Hmm.
because
Uh,
it's kind of the more like obviously, you know, kind of big flashy
Yeah.
thing.
And a lot of
So
like fast cuts and like you have to make
yeah.
everything fit into the
Mm,
really specific piece. Yeah.
mm, yeah. Although
Honestly,
now that I say that, like, did I always understand the geography of F1 like I did a Spielberg movie?
no.
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 But I don't know. I still feel like that one will probably
Yeah.
win. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say Sinners for mine.
okay.
I like it.
Well, you're
I
all
hope
wrong.
Sinners
It's one
wins.
battle after another or sentimental.
Ah, dang it.
Original score is
Mm,
Begonia,
All right.
Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. All
I
of these
don't need a
soundtracks
fix.
are very
they're
Hmm.
different,
mhm.
Very good.
except for like I think the closest to would be like Begonia and One Battle After Another in terms of tone, because they're
Mhm,
very chaotic.
mhm,
Yeah.
Same with the films, obviously,
mhm,
Yeah.
but then you have like Hamnet, which is more harp tones and
mhm,
classical-ish, or
Mhm.
Frankenstein more classical, I guess, like piano, and then
yeah.
Sinners has like the bluegrass, the
Mhm,
little extra
Yeah.
stuff to it. So
You got yeah.
mhm.
more
And also like full orchestra at times,
yeah.
Yeah.
like mixed
And
with
like
electric
Irish
guitar
folk
and
like coming
yeah,
in and which
yeah.
so cool.
So I would
Hmm.
pick Sinners for mine.
If
Mm.
Sinners doesn't win this category, I will riot. And I'm gonna feel that way about a lot of categories in Sinners, but this is the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you pick Sinners.
I 1,000,000%.
Gosh. So Hamnet, I'll just say the Hamnet nomination feels like a cheat because that
Yeah.
whole piece that we were moved by at the end of the movie was
Mhm.
already in the movie
Yeah.
Arrival,
Yep, yep.
and it served a
Been in
similar
so
Oh,
many movies.
function.
Yeah.
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 So and I thought you couldn't do that because there were many years
Original.
where Hans Zimmer like didn't
Yeah.
get nominated for things because they're like, well, this wasn't original and this wasn't, and they're like,
Mm.
oh, shut up, you know. So I don't know. Somebody, I mean, probably Spielberg was like,
Yeah, I feel like
you
this
know,
is Amblin.
grease the rails. I think, God, I love the One Battle score so much.
Yeah.
But also just in terms of what it does for the storytelling and what the movie and is about, the fact that with Sinners, um, I'm always amazed because like whenever I think of Sinners, I never think of it as at first as a vampire movie.
No.
It's not
Mm-mm.
like it's like they're these brothers, you know, trying to get this blues joint going, and
Mhm.
that's
It's a period piece.
yeah, and it's a period
Yeah.
piece, and it
Yeah.
you know it's like Oh Brother Where Art Thou or the Blues Brothers,
Mhm.
you know, like getting everybody together to put on a show.
Yeah.
You know, before the vampires show up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just gosh. And I mean, honestly, it's been cleaning up in this category and all the other shows too, so I'd say that's pretty much a lock
For what?
I hope so.
for best original score. Sinners.
For
Sinners
Sinners.
is your
Yeah.
pick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I will say, like, after seeing the film, I probably listened to nothing but the Sinners score, the Sinners soundtrack for months. And even now, if I like come back to it, or like if we rewatch it, because we've watched it a few times since then, every time I get back in that mode and I can't stop listening, I'm just in love with the whole thing. So I feel like if it can do that to you,
Yeah,
that's powerful.
truly. Yeah.
Right, Zach, give us the best original song.
Okay. Original song. Dear Me by Diane Warren, who is always it doesn't say what movie it's in. That's weird.
Yeah.
That
It
is
just
the
I was
says
movie.
confused by that.
That is the
Oh, it is?
there's a movie called Diane Warren.
What?
It was?
Yeah, Relentless.
So Diane Warren has
I don't know.
all right.
it
That's
says like K-pop Demon Hunters isn't the band, it's the movie. So
right. Yeah. 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 Golden, K-pop Demon Hunters, I Lied to You, Sinners, Sweet Dreams of Joy, Viva Verdi, and Train Dreams from One Battle After Another. No, I'm kidding. Train Dreams. My pick for the category is Golden. Like, yeah,
yes.
yep, 100%
Dear Me is
I,
by Kesha. So
by Kesha.
it's
Oh,
a pretty
really?
good song. Yeah. It is actually a really good song.
So it's a movie about Diane Warren.
I don't know. Who's Diane Warren?
didn't get it. Diane Warren's been nominated like every year for years, and she hasn't won. And she always has that one song
Aw.
where you go, huh?
Yeah, I'm like,
Aw.
that's
I
why I haven't heard
guess.
of her. She hasn't won.
Sad.
Yeah.
But we've
Um,
been doing this for a while. I
Yeah.
don't remember her coming up.
yeah.
Huh.
I'm going with I Lied to You from Sinners. I love that song. That was
Yeah.
in the film. That's the song where the huge sequence is happening. And so if we're going for the actual original song from the film, it incorporates like so many different types of music into it, and like
Yeah.
it just has layers and layers, and it's beautiful. That's what like carries the story into the next phase because that's how the vampire hears him, and he can like tell because he's got like the magical voice, and I mean it just, and I'm obsessed with the song, and I love this guy's voice, Miles Canton.
Miles
and-
Catton, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Go, 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 go,
and
go, go, go,
I,
go, go,
I
go.
okay, I loved K-pop Demon Hunters. I loved it so much. That's another like soundtrack that I just keep jamming to. But
Nice.
Golden is not the best song from that movie, and I don't understand why it's the one that's nominated.
It's
It's a great song.
I would
not the best
agree.
song.
I would agree. What's your favorite song from K-pop?
The one I can't remember the name of it now. It's the one at like the end when
What
they're
it sounds like.
what it sounds like.
That's my favorite one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it feels like the pinnacle song. So, and it's also still catchy. So it's not like this is catchy and that's not.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
And like you actually see them performing that one, whereas Golden, you technically only see them performing a tiny bit of it, and that's it.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure, that's fair. And then they're fighting.
Yeah.
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 No, in our
So-
house, just kind of randomly, I'll go, stop this song. Just apropos of nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Little Squid Game action. Yeah.
Uh,
Um,
but
Gee,
But
I wonder what
if
I'm
I
gonna
Lied
pick.
to You doesn't, if I Lied to You doesn't win, then I want Golden to win. I want to be one of
Yeah.
those two, but I do want I Lied to You to be the winner.
Yeah, my pick is Golden.
Yep.
It's pretty much been locked in since we were talking about like what movies we liked from last year, and it's like
Yeah.
K-pop Demon Hunters. So,
Yep.
which tells you about the next category.
Mhm.
But Dear Me was like I obviously just listened to the song because I don't know who Diane Warren is apparently. So,
Mhm.
because it's Kesha, I'm like,
Okay.
okay, it's a
Yeah.
like an upbeat song, so I like that.
Mhm.
So, yeah, yeah. My favorite song from K-pop Demon Hunters is Free. So the
Oh,
I also
duet.
love that
yeah,
one.
that one's beautiful too.
It's
Mhm.
not long enough though. It's just like a
Yeah.
very short
Yeah.
song. So
I got the melody of that in my head last week, and I'm just like, my daughter was sick and
Mhm.
home from school one day and watched it, and that song came on, and
Oh.
I'm just like, oh, this song is
Like-
so just heart-swimmingly
Mhm.
good. Just
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah. It
Mhm.
really is.
yeah.
That movie crushed it on its songs. It
Yeah.
really, really did.
hmm
good soundtrack.
Mhm.
Animated feature.
Mhm.
Arco, Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Emil or the Character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. I've only seen two. I've wanted to see like Zootopia 2. I think that was just still in theaters, so it's like
Mm.
somewhere in the
Yeah,
in between
recently.
now.
Mm.
Mm.
K-pop Demon Hunters and Elio I saw. Elio,
Mm.
my pick is K-pop Demon Hunters, but
Yeah.
honorable mention to Elio because it is kind of a sort of movie I would want to have seen if I were young, like at
Mm.
this
Mhm.
point because it's about space and travel
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff,
Mm.
which is cool. I like that.
Yeah.
So I'm a geek like that for outer space. But
Mm.
yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters hands down
Mm.
number
Mhm.
one. Stands alone, I think. But
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have only seen K-pop Demon Hunters. I want to see Elio and Zootopia 2.
yeah,
I've never heard of the other two.
Mm.
But I feel very confident in saying even if I watched all of them, I would still pick K-pop Demon Hunters. So
Mm.
I'm going
Yeah.
with that. But Zach, you have kids. You've probably seen more of these than I ever have.
Well, I've only seen K-pop Demon Hunters, which is my pick, and Zootopia 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, my family wasn't really interested in Elio that much, and I don't know. We're not like big outer space people. I don't know. I think the trailer was just sort of like, it looks kind of scary and kind of vague.
Yeah.
But I hear it's good, so. And then I have a screener for Arco, but I haven't watched it yet. And
Oh, yeah.
then I hadn't heard of the other one, but I will say I loved Zootopia 2. That was,
Yeah.
I would say it's like on par with, and maybe even slightly better than the original, which
Okay.
I
Oh,
was
wow.
so delighted by. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And Kihi Kwan plays the snake in it, and
Aw.
he is just awesome. I mean,
Mm.
you don't see him at all, but he just brings everything, like the same heart that he brought to Everything Everywhere All at Once, he brings to this role. And yeah, I thought Zootopia 2 was just a blast.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, that makes me excited to see it.
yeah.
Oh, and from last year's winner, Flo.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Bought a cat, of course I bought it. Anyways, but the filmmaker does a commentary track on there, and it's just like really good. Like I only just started, and I'm already like, oh, what? Like just being a filmmaker about stuff and
Mhm.
Yeah.
talking about things that are like we had to really fight for like the title sequence, like of all the co-productions, and
Mhm.
to not have so many. And it's just like that. I wouldn't even think about that. It's just like,
Oh
oh,
man, yeah. There's like
The
that Family Guy
business of it.
joke where there's like all those production company logos in the beginning, like, oh, okay, this is
Yeah.
the start of the movie. Oh, okay, it's a guy flying in a plane. Okay. Oh, no, guy flying in a plane pictures. You know?
Yes.
what? I have to look up that. Send me that if you catch a
yeah.
reel or something.
And isn't
It's
it just
funny.
like one after another after
Yeah,
another too?
there's
Like
like-
it's just
like
So many.
6 or 7 in a row.
Did you
Yeah.
see the
Yeah.
one with like it's Warner Brothers? Oh no, it's Paramount. Oh, I guess now it's Netflix, or oh, it's now
Oh
something
man.
else. It's like
It's kind of like that, yeah.
yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because they bought Warner Brothers. Now it's Paramount. Oh no, now
Mm,
it's
yeah.
Eventually, they just need to call themselves what they really are and just give us all of your money pictures.
just
All
Hollywood
they are. Yeah.
Studio. It's just Hollywood. It's just called
It's like you know you're gonna pay for it, so just give us your money.
Hollywood.
All right. Cinematography. So we've got Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams.
Oh, I did want to make, before we jump into cinematography, just
Oh,
some honorable mentions from the
oh yeah,
categories we
yeah,
skip.
Mm,
Documentary feature, I did see
go
like
go go go.
two of them, I guess. No, three.
Mm,
Alabama Solution, Comes to Me in
yeah.
the Good Light, and The Perfect Neighbor. So
mm,
my pick would be, of the three that I saw, probably Alabama Solution, just because
mm,
it's very relevant to the prison system in Alabama, but also in other states, as we're learning about other prisons that are opening and being
mm,
created.
mm.
Mm.
So,
Oh.
Prisons is a very nice way to put that.
Mm,
yes.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was
Yeah.
a very good documentary in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Mm,
And then I did see The Secret Agent in International
mm,
and Sentimental Value, I guess. Okay.
mm.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about that one a bit more, I'm sure.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, for international, I saw The Secret Agent. I just watched The Secret Agent. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yes,
Um,
I liked it too.
uh, it was just an accident, which I was surprised actually didn't get more nominations this year. That one was number 8 on my top 10 for the year.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, it was great. Well, it says the film from France, but it's Iran. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's phenomenal, and it's thrilling, and it's surprisingly funny, and um, yeah, it's definitely worth seeing. It's basically uh, the basic plot is a car stops at a mechanic's shop, and the people who break down are there, and one of the people who works at the shop recognizes the voice of the guy who broke down, who believes that he was the interrogator who tortured him and people that he knew. And so he sets out on this, but it's sort of a hunch. So he sets out on this mission to kidnap the person and then get confirmation from other people who have also moved on in their lives to
Mm.
see if this is the guy. And it leads to this sort of, another critic described it as sort of like, it sort of becomes like a Hitchcockian road comedy. Um,
Okay.
yeah, but it is breathtaking, and the
huh.
ending is just so shattering. And the director, Jafar Panahi,
Oh yeah.
um, yeah, who's been in the news lately. He
Yes, I
was,
saw him. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, it's that one. That one would be my pick for international film, and I'm surprised that Secret Agent kind of jumped in there for Best Picture over. It was just an accident, especially because I think that one also won the Palme d'Or. Um,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
anyway, that would be my pick.
Okay.
I've seen Sentimental Value.
Hmm,
I saw the first hour of The Secret Agent.
hmm,
I did not end up finishing it
hmm.
last night, which I was very sad about, but
Yeah,
I was enjoying it while I was watching it. I
yeah.
really like that like the main actor
He's so
is like
magnetic.
he's yeah,
Wagner Mora, yeah.
I was like
Yeah.
I could just watch you do anything. Like just you're
Hmm,
so like I just
Is
want
it
to keep watching.
Wagner? Is that
Um
how you
hmm,
say it?
hmm.
Okay, good. Good to know.
Yep,
yeah.
yeah.
Uh but yeah, so I'm gonna based on how you described it was just an accident. I'm gonna agree with you. And go with
It
that.
did win Palme d'Or, I found. Yeah.
Okay,
Nice. Perfect.
yeah.
Um,
So it did win
I-
something if it doesn't win this. So.
Hmm, yeah.
He's like, no.
honestly, if the other two, if Sentiment of Value and Secret Agent are up for Best Picture, I'm like, I feel like give the international feature to somebody else. Like, don't,
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
on. Anyway,
What?
sorry, that's just, I don't know. I don't know, Alan.
Yeah, it is strange. It
No.
does say France, though. Yeah, interesting. A
Yeah.
co-production, perhaps, then
Sure, it might have been where the financing
To
came from, or
get it in there, or
yeah.
in order to be, I don't know. I don't know what's going on
Right,
there.
yeah. Yeah, maybe.
All right, back to
All right.
cinematography. Go ahead.
Okay, cinematography. So Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, Train Dreams. Um, I okay, so I Train Dreams was probably the like movie that I was least interested in watching
Mm.
out of all of them. I thought no matter how many times we watched trailers, I was like, this looks so boring. I'm gonna fall asleep. Oh my God, this looks like the least interesting thing I'm ever gonna see. This movie made me cry so bad, and I left it feeling so depressed, like
Mm.
genuinely deep down in my soul, like gutturally depressed. I was like,
Yeah.
what? Oh my God,
Oh,
like what is life? I don't even care. Like nothing.
Mhm.
Just I'm so sad.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful,
Mm.
everything about oh my God, again, it hit me and I didn't want it to, and oh my God. But after we watched it, I was like, I swear to God, if that does not win best cinematography. I didn't even know at the time like what it was up against for this category, but I was like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I thought it was
Mm.
stunning.
Mm.
I absolutely think that it deserves to win best cinematography,
Mhm.
Train
especially above
Dreams?
the others. Train Dreams. Did
Wow.
you see it?
Yeah,
Do you not agree?
I disagree.
I say very like just like with rage in my heart. I'm like, do you not agree with me, Alan? Uh
It
okay,
was tough
what
for
do
me
you
to
think of
pick
it?
in this one. Yeah, I went with Sinners, but
Okay.
I liked Frankenstein also. But
Hmm.
Mm.
um,
Go
yeah, I
go
chose
go go.
Sinners just because, gosh, there's so much to figure in this setup too, and just hearing the cinematographer her talking about it was just like
Hmm.
very interesting to hear just all the little things, especially with the you know the twinning effects. So
Yeah,
Mm.
it's like, how do you do this or
Mm.
how do you do that? And
Mm.
I'm just trying to think it through. Like, how did you
and the
come
new
up with
apparatus
this?
they had to
Or
use, and
Yeah.
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 yeah, or like the scene with the the sun is going down and the guy on fire and
Mm.
everything. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
that scene.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Sinners
Yeah.
for me.
I think I would love it if Sinners won. I Yeah, it's a tough one. For me, it's between Sinners and One Battle. Partly for One Battle, it's because they filmed it in VistaVision. Like they filmed
Mm.
like a big propulsive action movie in VistaVision using, and actually the actor Giovanni Ribisi is like a camera nerd, and he actually fixed a lot of these old VistaVision cameras that, and he's thanked in the credits. Um,
Really?
and yeah, and so they had to figure out how to use these unwieldy, impractical cameras to shoot car chases and sort of big
Oh.
scenes. And I'm just always a fan of the look of Paul Thomas Anderson movies because I know
Hmm.
a lot of what that is comes from him and his own sort of photography knowledge.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, Sinners. Well, Sinners has a lot of things going for it. The things that you were talking about, Alan. Um, but also, it filmed in both IMAX
Hmm.
and Ultra Panavision 70. So it used both the tallest format and the widest format. And while watching it, even with the jumps, I loved it. It didn't
Yeah.
feel like it felt like when they used it, it was appropriate, and
Yeah.
when and then also it has the distinction of being uh, a woman of color who was the cinematographer Autumn Durald
Mm.
Arkapaw, um, which it would be a historic win, but also like a truly deserved historic win.
Super deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would love to see that happen.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna cheer on Sinners to win everything. So I vote
Mhm.
for Train Dreams, but if Sinners wins, I'm gonna be like, yes. And I agree. Love it.
Yes. All right.
All right.
Okay, next we have adapted screenplay. We have Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams. And my pick is hands down One Battle After Another. It's Paul Thomas Anderson's time to win. He's been time to win. He's my favorite living filmmaker. I mean, for one, so I'm a little biased, but also just taking the book that he adapted it from and then taking it into a whole new direction, and then also just sort of like the free flowing spirit of bringing in the actors to kind of further adapt it. So it, not only like adapting from source material, but if you think about like just adapting to the circumstances, which of course stretches the Academy definition of that word.
Hmm.
But I just yeah, I was just completely bowled over by the storytelling.
Hmm.
How a movie that's over 2.5 hours feels like a 90-minute movie, and to pack so much sort of dense nutrition into something so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. That's my pick as well.
Mm.
Um, I loved it. I thought it was brilliant the way that they executed it. The script and overall story and yes, I completely agree. One battle after another.
Cool. I went the other way with this. I went with Begonia.
Mm.
Okay.
Um, I just like Strange too. I think,
Mm.
um, yeah, these type of films are just,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mm.
it's good to see
I will
something
ask.
that's really strange in there. Like
Mm.
Yeah.
the Academy is changing, which is good. So,
Yeah.
Question for you though,
Mm.
both of you, in Begonia, when it starts and they kidnap her and all the things are happening, did you think, yes, I think she is an alien, or did you think, no, she's not, and these guys are just crazy?
I thought not. I thought not at the beginning,
Yeah, me too.
I felt like tonally they set it up
but
so well
Yeah.
to pull the rug out from under you.
yes, that's the other part.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
like waiting for it. Like
Yeah.
I want to say no, but
Hmm.
why does this movie exist? It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also think of like the way Yorgos Lanthimos directs his movies too, because they're pretty grounded in
Mhm.
reality. And so you have, yeah, I mean, just like in terms of the look, right? Like it's like
Okay,
a
yeah,
very
Yeah.
naturalistic
Hmm.
right,
look.
okay,
Um, and then, going, but then I'm also like, but he also directed Poor Things, which is really fantastical. So now I don't know what to think.
yes,
Yeah.
And yeah, have you
Yeah.
seen the movie that it's based on?
No.
It's a Korean film called Save the Green Planet.
Uh-uh.
I have not seen it,
No.
but yeah, I think it was from like 2003 or something.
Okay.
Um, and which my friend who has seen it said that yeah, it ends the same way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, even when they were in her office and she's like grabbing her calculator and explaining, I was like, nope, she's messing with him. She's got something up her
Mm,
sleeve. And then like
mm,
the closet and the thing happened. I was like, see? So yeah, she's not. And then all of a sudden I was like, well, okay, I guess I'm just bad at everything. I don't know. Like I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
mm.
hmm.
It they had me. They had me. Um,
Yeah. I think
yeah,
I
it
was in
was
a
fun.
weird, sorry, didn't mean to.
No,
Um,
you're good.
I think I was in a weird mood when I watched Begonia,
Mhm.
and so like it didn't quite land with me the way I hoped it would.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
now that some time has passed, I really look forward to watching it again. I'm like, I bet
yeah,
I'll
same
enjoy it
here.
a lot more the
Yeah.
second time. And I've heard a lot of people saying like subsequent viewings have been really fun and rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect with it. I was just watching it because I'm pretty sure this will be nominated for something because it's
Mhm.
Yeah.
Emma Stone, Yorgos, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
Original screenplay. Oh, did you have something else you want to say?
no, I'm actually gonna bring it up later. I realized that it can be a good miss snub. So I'll do
Mhm.
then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it made me think there was an Onion article that said uh, Yorgos Lanthimos 3 movies away from asking Emma Stone to hang out outside of work.
But
Something
you know,
So
we can
good.
only hang out with her when she's booked, so because she's always booked, so you know,
right.
So
Right.
good.
Yeah,
just an excuse to hang out with old friends, really.
exactly.
I love it.
Original
All right, Ellen.
screenplay is Blue Moon. It was just an accident. Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. Original.
Oh, gee.
I saw Blue Moon. Let's see. Did not see the other two there. I just saw Sentimental Value and Sinners.
So what's your pick?
Sinners. The end.
Oh, okay. uh yeah, I did not see Blue Moon.
Good, good. You
That
don't
was
have
that was
to. I'm just kidding.
that was one that I've been avoiding. I genuinely have no interest. I think at the risk of sounding like an asshole, because I have no reason to think this, and very talented professional people who know so much more about making films than I do, put so much time and effort into this. And this
Go
is
go
not
go
to
go go
discount
go.
any of their work, because honestly, everyone like filmmaking is freaking hard, let alone to
Mm.
get to this level. I just think it looks so bleh. Like I don't care. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching a trailer and I'm like, oh my God, it can't even hold my attention for 2 minutes. Like I just don't care. Um, and
I will say the
so
first act was
I,
rough. I'll say
yeah.
right out the gate. It was
Um,
like, is
Mm.
this the whole movie? It's like,
yeah.
That was what my wife said when we watched it. She was like, "Is the whole movie going to be like
yeah,
this?"
exactly. I was so grateful
Yeah,
that it wasn't. It was just like, oh,
yeah,
okay, thank God.
yeah.
So are you saying it's worth giving it a shot?
I loved it.
Okay.
I think I mean, I don't know if I'll see it again necessarily, but I was
Hmm.
fascinated by the history of it.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
that it really, I mean, it gives Ethan Hawke like a very well-deserved Oscar nomination. It's a fascinating character where it's sort of like he's a he's a nice enough guy and he's a talented guy who just happened to be on the wrong side of luck and
Hmm.
who,
Mm.
you know, sort of gets in his own way and but not in like a asshole Marty Supreme sort of way, but in a
Yeah.
in just sort of like, oh,
Like,
like
oh man,
you're
like you feel for him.
yeah, you feel for him because it's
Yeah.
like you're obviously like staggeringly brilliant and
Mhm.
talented, but you're also just kind of insufferable
Yeah.
and no,
Yeah.
it's no wonder that
Oh,
Rogers was ready to move on to Hammerstein. And
yeah.
but I think, yeah, just in terms of, I mean, I would, if they ever turned it into a play, which it often felt like, I would
Yeah.
I would watch
Okay.
that play. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Not my pick
Um,
though.
Mhm.
yeah, my pick is I'm going with Sinners.
Mm,
Because brilliant and the way they executed it, and also the fact that like he wrote this and like made it into, yes, it's essentially, if you look at it, yeah, it's a vampire movie, but like it has so much history. Everything means something. Everything has like historical value and
yeah,
context and purpose to
yeah,
it, and it's accurate. And he also incorporated like not only like culture and experience from like Black perspective in the South in the 20s or whatever, but also like Haley Steinfeld, like the what is it, what was it, like the one drop uh or something rule, like where like because she had even just this much
right, yeah.
like her grandfather was Black, like she you know
Hmm.
yeah, but also like the Irish side and bringing that in,
Yeah,
and like that history and culture and stuff. And I thought it was brilliant the fact that like he and then it's centering it around music. I think the whole thing's brilliant. Sinners, sinners, sinners all day. Sinners.
Yes. Yep.
Just to clarify, yeah, Sinners. I looked. Cool. Takes place in 1932 during Jim Crow
32.
era.
Thank you.
That's
Yes.
right. Yeah. I think, for me, Sinners. A lot of the same reasons. The thing that really, I feel like we took Ryan Coogler for granted until now.
Mhm.
And I know that for him personally, kind of listening to what he's talked about, like it was definitely his riskiest film. It's the first time he put something like extremely personal into, it's his first like completely original movie that's not
Yeah.
based on an existing IP or a true story.
Mhm.
And just thinking, like I've written in my original review that Ryan Coogler's contributions to cinema and the world have been so immeasurable that it's hard to believe that this is only his fifth feature film.
Yeah.
And damn, what an incredible film it is.
Mhm.
I will say, yeah, that one is like the no contest best of the best. I will say that I was a little bummed to see the movie Sorry Baby get shut out.
Mhm.
That one, written and directed by and starring Eva Victor, I just thought was a really gentle comedy drama about a really difficult subject. And it got a lot of love at the Indie Spirit Awards, but I would have loved to have seen some Academy love for it too. But that one I highly, highly recommend. I think that one was like number 4 or 5 on my top 10.
Wow.
And then I would have loved to have seen a nomination for Weapons, because that's
Yes!
just such a cool screenplay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm really sad that didn't get nominated.
But I guess you already had
Yeah.
Sinners for the genre pick, so
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know.
People,
It was just
people are funny that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. All right. So we're all agreed. Sinners. Sinners
Right.
got to win.
Yeah.
All right. I don't remember who's
Your next
doing
round.
director.
Go ahead.
Me? Oh, okay. Director. Chloe Zhao for Hamnet. Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme. Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another.
Joachim.
Joachim
Joachim Trier. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That person for Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Okay, genuinely, I think that all of these people did an excellent job. The directing was
Agreed.
excellent in all movies. Every single one. But I'm going with Ryan Coogler. I think he deserves it. I don't think that everybody else doesn't deserve it, but I think that he just firmly, solely, like he 100% deserves it, where everybody else is like 92% or 95%, or like, he just speaks out. So I'm going with Ryan Coogler.
Sure.
I agree. Ryan Coogler. Although, I mean, Hamnet is probably my favorite Chloe Zhao film, right? So, yeah, just thinking back some of the other films, I'm just like,
Didn't she do
my
Past
thing.
Lives?
No, that's Celine's song. No, she did Nomadland. Chloe Zhao.
Oh,
And
duh. Yes.
The
never mind.
Eternals.
Which I loved. But yeah, no, that's a different podcast. Different episode.
But yeah, like of all her films, like Hamnet actually was, to me, very like engaging
so
and very
good.
like it was still Chloe Zhao, but do you think Spielberg had something to do with that a little bit, or it's like I have no idea. So
It was beautiful.
It seems from what I understand, like he, Spielberg provided the resources, and he talked about just how Chloe Zhao is not she's not she doesn't think about scenes logically. She goes from a completely emotional place. And that a lot of, And I mean that whole so I have to admit for much of Hamnet, I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Um, but when it came to the last 30 minutes, I
Hmm.
was like, I'll remember the ending of this movie for the rest of my life. And also just the you mentioned spoilers, so
Yeah.
Hmm.
just what when she reaches out and touches the actor
Yeah.
and just
Yes.
that was improvised.
Oh, was it?
What?
Okay.
I didn't know
Nice.
that.
Yeah, that was not in the script. She just
Oh
did
my
that and
God.
then like
Oh, right.
Everyone.
Yeah, Jesse
yeah,
Buckley was talking about that. Yeah.
yeah. But I
Oh
mean
my
just like
God.
the way that she created space for all the actors to, you know, just to just to listen and to allow that to happen is stunning. But she already has an
Yeah.
Oscar, so I'm not picking her. Um, let's
I
see.
mean, you did mention
Yeah,
PTA is your favorite.
yeah. I think
Hmm.
Josh Safdie maybe gets the award for the most directing. Um, uh, I love. I mean, I love all these. What
Yeah.
Joaquin Trier does with Sentimental Value is, you know, for I I love his films because he brings such a like a stately style to these on the page, which would be like, you know, in the hands of a lesser director might be, you know, could be like a lifetime movie. I mean, just for
Yeah.
lack of a
Yeah.
better, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's
They're very modern era and kind of
yeah,
dramatic, sort of
yeah,
melodramatic. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that he just kind of lets things be and he lets things take their time. But
Hmm.
for me, I mean, gosh, I mean, really, for me, it's Ryan Coogler or Paul Thomas Anderson. I think if
Yeah.
one or the other gets it, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
I'll be happy. I'll be happy either way. I
Yeah.
promise. Like, I think. I mean, there's been so many upsets this Oscar season too. Where
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Right.
oh,
the
like
award season.
for a
Yeah.
long time it was like PTA
Yeah.
is a lock. He's a lock. He's a lock. And
Yeah.
then you go, oh, well, wait a minute.
Yep.
So I don't know. But then
Yeah.
again, I feel like, and this might seem crappy, but there's historical precedent where it's like, we'll give the black screenwriter original screenplay, you know what I mean, and then
Yeah.
that way,
Spike Lee. Hello.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
or Jordan Peele,
Hmm.
there's precedent there among several things,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but my pick is going to be, well, yeah, my pick's PTA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So on to supporting actress.
Mm.
Elle Fanning, Sentimental Value. Inga Ibs
Ib's
Ibstlada
daughter.
Ipsdottir Lilius.
Lilius. Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
Also Sentimental Value. Amy Madigan, Weapons. Umi Moscow West Sinners. And Tiana Taylor. Or Tite. As it was SAG or the Actors Awards.
Actors. Yeah.
For One Battle After Another.
Who do you got?
I'm going with what the actors went with, so Amy Madigan for Weapons.
Mm.
Okay.
Looking at these like options, like yes, they're all good. I think I'm not mad at any of these options, but
Mhm.
um, yeah, I mean that
Hmm.
she she played like this witchy woman who's both like old, crazy, and kind of alluring sort of
Yeah.
feel, like very on
Hmm.
par with the character, and it's just kind of
Mhm.
like so many things are happening at once with this character.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
crazy. It's like kind of like the Joker, It's like
Mhm.
Hmm.
that feel to it, and then it's just like, and then at the end, it's just like
Yeah.
run,
Yeah.
action.
Yeah.
Yeah. That scene of her being chased.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a friend who just watched Weapons today, and she she texted me, just watched Weapons, and then it was like that face
Oh
emoji,
yeah.
And yeah,
So
horror
good.
is not her jam. And I was just like, I don't know. I just like movies with like, rich characters and sort of sprawling narratives, and then
Yeah.
also scenes where children rip apart a crazy old lady at the end. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Yeah. I think my pick would be Amy Madigan. I think, yeah, I agree with you, Alan. Like none of these would upset me if they won. They're all brilliant. Um, and also kind of going with what you were saying, like it's a very big character, but she feels grounded. Like she feels
Hmm.
like I believed her. She never felt um like a Jared Leto Joker sort of like,
Yeah.
what are you even doing? Like
Like
she
she's
just
just trying to go over the top.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. It just felt like no, that's just who she is,
Yeah.
and also like you've like at times there were moments where I was like, oh man, she must be in so much pain. Like it must be like really awful to be her, just to
Hmm.
to go what she's going through. So I think when you can show shades of that while also being
Yeah.
the movie's villain is, impressive.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
know a lot of that comes from the writing too, but just
Yeah.
what she brought to it, it could have been so one note and it wasn't.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Um, I, 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 I. Okay. I struggle with this particular category.
iPhone,
I am,
iPad, I.
I AirPods. It, I don't love the Elle Fanning nom, but honestly, I think I have like a weird thing about Elle Fanning where I don't believe her in her roles.
Hmm.
Even though this role was her just being a famous actress, which she is. So there's nothing unbelievable about it. I was still like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if I believe you.
Hmm.
But that's like a me, that's a weird thing that I'm not sure. I thought that Inga was amazing.
Hmm.
I was very
Yeah, I
moved
could
by
stare
her.
at her. I could stare at her eyes all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the scene with her and Stellan Skarsgård, and like he's pushing to have her son be in the film, and she's just like you have to stop. And I was like, oh, my
Mhm.
heart just like started cracking at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amy Madigan was freaking brilliant.
Hmm.
As you guys have like mentioned, like just brilliant in that. Unmi, I think, is becoming one of just my favorite actresses.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
I she could tell me that 2 + 2 = 75, and I'd be like, girl, I believe you. Like, what? You are so believable, and I am with you all the way. And yes, let's go. And Tana Taylor is so freaking good in that role.
Yeah.
I was like
Yeah.
mesmerized by her in One Bad.
Yeah.
So I really struggle. Honestly, I think if Amy, Unmi, or Tayana win, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I want one me to win because I'm like all sinners this year.
Yeah.
But if any of those three win, I'm
Mhm.
happy.
It really does feel like it comes down to those three, just based on what the award season has showed us.
Yeah.
Like those three have been the winners, and Tayana starting really strong out of the gate. I mean, and
Hmm.
she's only in the first 35 minutes of the movie, and then
Yeah.
and then she's gone. But it's
Yeah.
her. It's like it's everything that she did that set
It's
this
like
whole story
because
into
of her.
motion, and she
Yeah.
casts such a long shadow over the rest of the movie that
Hmm.
you know and that comes from the performance.
Yeah.
you know
100%.
hmm
Oh, so good.
yeah.
All right. Um, I don't even remember. Alan, is it
Oh
you?
yes.
I
No,
just did
I
this one.
Zach. Oh, okay. I don't
haven't read
know.
one in a while. Yeah.
I'm so into these that I don't even know
Do
where
the
we're at.
actress, Rahana. Go ahead.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Actress leading. Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs to I'd Kick You. Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue, which okay. I don't know how to say her name right.
Renata Reinsva.
Renata Reinsva for Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone for Bugonia. Um, I haven't seen Song Sung Blues. I'm not gonna see it. Uh,
Yeah.
if I had Legs, I'd Kick You. I really, really, really want to see it, and I didn't get a chance to, and I'm sad about it. But she looks amazing in it. It looks amazing. I wholly believe that she just kicked butt and deserves to be in this category. If I'm honest, after watching Sentimental Value, I was like, oh, 100% her. Like
Hmm.
I'm obsessed with it. But then, and even watching Hamnet, 'cause Hamnet's the last one that I fully watched. Um, the first half of it, I was like, why is everybody saying Jesse Buckley and like what? Like I get sure, I don't know, but did they see sentimental value? And then it kicked up a notch and I was like, oh, and I texted out and I was like, yeah, she has to win. It's the hands down
Hmm.
Jesse Buckley. So she's my
Hmm.
pick. I just don't understand how she wouldn't, as much as I love what Renata did. I just, yeah, it's Jesse
Hmm.
Buckley.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I think so yeah, the only one of these I have not seen is Song Sung Blue, which I would like to see because the director is Craig Brewer, who made Hustle and Flow, and
Oh,
Oh,
so I know that he'll bring something to it that
okay.
wouldn't normally be there. I just
Hmm.
didn't get around to seeing it.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say I'm a bit more excited to watch Kate Hudson than I am to watch Hugh Jackman because
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I already know you can sing.
Right.
Um,
yeah, right,
but
right.
yeah,
We've seen that.
yeah. Emma
Hugh
Stone,
Jack.
you know, Emma Stone, sure,
Yeah.
reliable. It's
She did good.
she has two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Renata is amazing.
Yeah.
Rose Byrne did an incredible job in that movie. So earlier when I said that you may want to watch Uncut Gems to bring your heart rate down from Marty Supreme, I would say you might want to watch Marty Supreme to bring your heart rate down from If I Had
What?
Legs, I'd Kick You. And
Oh.
interestingly, the writer director Mary Bronstein is married to Ronald Bronstein, who's the co-writer and co-editor of Marty Supreme. And
No.
so I'm like, what the hell is
Is this
going
a
on
high
in that
blood pressure
household? Like,
family? What's going on?
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, are
I
you guys
know.
okay?
Yeah, I know. It's like someone needs to check in on the Bronsteins.
Like,
Um,
I think they need like a little therapy and a
yeah.
really well-deserved vacation
Although maybe the movies are their
from there.
therapy, so
That's true. That could be.
that could
Yeah.
be.
That's how they get it
Um,
out.
yeah, but also just like, oh God, it's such a hard movie. Like that movie
Yeah.
was the hardest watch I had all year. Was If I Had Legs, I'd
Really?
Kick You. Yeah,
Oh.
it was really hard to watch.
Mm.
Uh, and especially if you're a parent, just like,
Yeah.
oh my God, even more than Hamnet, I would say, because
Really?
well, just because I think that I hope I never have to relate to what it would be like
Right.
to go through what
Yeah.
they go through in Hamnet, but there's something just a little bit more sort of viscerally stressful in If I Had Legs, involving a sick child, like a
Mm.
perpetually sick child, that
Yeah.
is just like, oh God.
Hmm.
And also it's hard to watch somebody where it's like none of it's your fault and yet you're getting blamed for all of it because you're the mom
Yeah.
and you're a woman, and that's the way
Yeah.
that you're typically seen, or
Mm. No
depending on what
kidding.
circles you're in. um but yeah, I mean, all that to say, uh yeah, it's Jesse Buckley. I mean, it's
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
come
It's
on.
yeah.
Yeah, she's been sweeping it, and I also think it is a well deserved
Yeah.
award, and also it's sort of a way to say like, we see you have a couple of nominations already. You are
Hmm.
a reliable and sturdy actress, and also let's like a complete 180 with the movie that she's in that comes
Yeah.
out tomorrow or whenever this airs.
Yeah. The Bride.
Um, yeah,
Oh yeah. That's
yeah,
right. Yeah.
opens tonight actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's
So,
Christian
anyways,
Bale. Yeah.
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 Hmm.
I mean, easily, I feel like her best performance ever.
Hmm.
Like, so it's, I, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
anyway, sorry.
So Emma Stone, Begonia
hmm
is what a movie. What a ride that movie is. It's just kind of like,
Yeah.
I just
Go, 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 go.
Mhm.
you're just it's like this movie's trolling me. I feel like, the whole time it's just like
Yeah.
I know what I think is right, but this is a movie.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And a Yorgos movie at
Yeah.
that with Emma Stone.
Right.
And her having to know the truth and yet
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
a steely CEO. Like it works that she's like a steely CEO who's gotta be a different person no matter like when she's dealing with
Mhm.
like she's a different person when she's dealing with them than she is dealing with her own employees, etc. Just kind of like adapting, but also not showing all of her cards at the same time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's
yeah. But I also
but
feel
what
like
an
I've seen
ending too. Just what an ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I was just like, oh, that's
Yeah.
the twist.
Yeah. Well, when it cuts to like all around the world and you just
That
see
part,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's
like
so
even just like the
horrifying.
closet
Yeah.
scene is just kind of like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Oh god. Yes.
I mean, the moment she walks
Um,
out of the closet where he has dissected all of those people,
Mhm.
and like you see her face and she like confronts him, I was like, oh, like that complete 180
That,
from everything
but
she had
also
done.
the
Oh.
closet she sends him to,
Well, yes,
just
which
a
was awesome.
movie full of closets. That's all I can
Poor
say.
guy just never saw it coming.
Mhm.
Renata, I feel like, how do you say it? Rinsby?
Reinsva.
Reinsva. I gotta get that
Mhm.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good thing we have it on tape. No. But
Yeah.
I feel like she should have won for like the worst person in the world. But
Same.
Mm,
another really high challenging year, so it's just kind of one of those things
Yeah.
where it's like, damn,
yeah.
Kate
Mhm.
Hudson didn't see it. Also,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Rose Byrne, I did see. I have to mention Conan O'Brien in this film. I can't not because every
I
time
keep
I see
forgetting
him,
he's in it.
Yeah.
every time I see him on, and he's playing like this really straight character, and
The
I can
world's
just
worst therapist.
the worst, and the worst
But it
person
works.
too. He's the
Yeah.
worst person in the world, but
Yes.
but
So
it's
good.
like I can imagine his podcast just saying like, "Oh, that's how you are, we always are," or something. Just playing those
Yeah.
bits, and then just I could just imagine him just in between takes. What a riot that would be! Just
Mm.
or outtakes. This whole movie should have like a ton of outtakes from him. I'm
Yeah.
guessing.
Maybe
But
the
anyway.
physical media will.
Yeah, that would be.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know.
Oh,
if,
it occurred to
does
me he'll
Warner
be
Brothers do that?
hosting.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
hosting.
yeah.
Exactly.
He'll be hosting. I'm
There's
sure
gonna
there'll
be a
be-
joke in here.
There's gotta
Yeah.
be.
There's got to be something there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if she
Alright,
doesn't
gonna have to
win,
watch it
he'll
before
say
that.
something about it, I'm sure.
Mhm.
I'm hoping it's a
Oh.
good one, or it's just a lot of shots of him,
Yeah.
like just the whole collage of how he is nominated
movie,
through
yeah.
Rose Byrne or something. I don't
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Jesse Buckley, Hamnet, of course. That's my pick.
Mm.
That's a lock, I think, but
Mhm.
who knows? I guess you never know. But
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
that's my pick.
Cool.
All right, Zach.
All right, Zach. Actor
Okay.
supporting.
Best supporting actor: Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo for Sinners, Sean Penn for One Battle After Another, and Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. Oh man, this is always a tough race every time.
Mhm.
I would be happy if Benicio won, if Delroy won, if Sean Penn won, and if Stellan won. I wouldn't be upset with that either. I feel like Jacob Elordi, I think the nomination is worth it. But I feel like he'll be back. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yes.
so I would take, just for political reasons, I'd take him out. But his work is incredible. Like
Mhm.
just what he had to do, and the fact that he was replacing Andrew Garfield, who had dropped out of the movie.
Really?
Yeah, it was going to be Andrew Garfield, and they
Whoa.
had prepared for like 9 or 10 months with Andrew Garfield, and then they had like something like 6 weeks or something ridiculous, and just
Whoa.
that he brought
Why
that
did
level of soul to it. Um,
Why
yeah,
did he drop out?
I didn't
I
know
think it was
that?
probably a scheduling thing. I think it was. I
That's
don't think it.
unfortunate.
I don't think there
Yeah.
was any bad blood. I just think it
Yeah.
was, but
Wow.
like Guillermo del Toro has said, it's like,
Well,
when something
Garfield,
like
you
that
could have been
happens,
nominated, but hey,
yeah,
Hmm.
them's the breaks.
yeah. But he like del Toro says, like, if something like that happens, then he knows that something better is gonna happen,
Yeah.
and Jacob Elordi was just wonderful.
Yeah.
I connected to him in a way that I don't really connect to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was because I didn't have to see his face or whatever, but I just felt like what he
Yeah.
brought to it was just like his whole body
Yeah.
and his voice. It was so
Hmm.
transformative. So, I don't want to besmirch his
Yeah.
nomination, because I think what he did was incredible.
Hmm.
I mean, Delroy Lindo has been amazing for years,
Right.
and he's amazing in this. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't feel like a maudlin, you know, vote. And yeah, I don't know. I think my picks would be Delroy and Benicio del Toro. Just
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
yeah, just I love Sensei so much.
Yes.
I love that character.
He is perfect as that
Yeah.
character.
And he's only in the
Oh,
movie for 13 minutes, which is insane. Like,
that's wild.
someone tallied up like how much screen time they actually have,
Yeah,
and he's
it's like
only
the
in the movie for
dojo, the
13
car,
minutes.
and
Yeah.
one
The
other.
hallway. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hall.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Um but yeah, I really don't know. I'm afraid to
Hmm.
actually pick one.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is a tough category for sure this year.
Yeah.
It's really tough. And honestly, I will say I'm mad. This is where I get mad. I'm so mad. That Jesse Plemons wasn't nominated.
Right. I've heard
Uh,
a lot about that.
yeah,
I
huge
need to see
snub.
Begonia again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he was so good.
Mm.
I was convinced that he was just fully traumatized and crazy, and he had
Mhm.
like drank the Kool-Aid a little bit, and I mean he was, but also he was right, but also crazy enough to give his mom anti-free, like he just um yeah, I thought he was brilliant in Begonia.
Mm.
And to be honest, I thought he deserved to be nominated more than Stellan Skarsgård, even though I love Stellan Skarsgård in the film, but I just thought he did better. But
Sure.
um,
Yeah. It's a
I
little Stellan
yeah,
Skarsgård plays himself, I mean,
yeah,
it's just, I
right,
mean, not that he isn't good, but it's sort of like, that's your thing.
exactly, yeah. Where I'm like, yeah, no, this makes sense. You are Stellan
Uh,
Skarsgård,
Yeah,
um,
Yeah.
kind of.
but
Would you put Jesse Plemons in the supporting though? Like, instead of lead?
I suppose that's actually
Yeah,
a
I
good
guess you're
question.
right.
No,
Yeah,
he would be
he would be
lead.
a
Yeah, it's a good
lead.
point. So in
Yeah.
that case, I'm gonna be I'll be mad about it in a second then. No, it's a very good point.
You
Very
wound
good
her up
point.
again.
Now
Sorry.
Hey, by
now
the way,
I'm-
you're wrong again.
Um,
Conan O'Brien should
and
be
that-
supporting.
in that case, I'm gonna say Timothy Chalamet should be kicked out, or Ethan Hawke, but I haven't seen that, so again, whatever you guys
Oh,
think between the
yeah.
two. And Jesse Plemons should be in there.
There you go.
Honestly, you know what? I'm mad at Tim Shal so much in that movie that I'm gonna say, get out of here, Jesse
Mhm.
Plemons. Okay, anyway, back to supporting. I'm with you, Zach. We're like okay. I picked Jacob Elordi
Mm.
mostly because I was so I'm kind of creeped out by him a little bit as a person, and I think that's because the first time I saw him was in Euphoria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I don't let you make me uncomfortable. But this movie made me feel for him. It made me like I was totally on his side. I thought he did amazing, especially with so much non-verbal like acting and coming through so perfectly. Oh, I thought he was so beautiful in it.
Mm,
But I'm obsessed with Benicio del Toro in One
yeah.
Battle After Another, and obsessed with Delroy Lindo in Sinners. And as much as I just Sean Penn, like is
Mm,
a he also gives me the creeps as a person.
Yep.
He was brilliant in his role. I
Yeah.
was
man.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
It's a top 5 Sean Penn performance for
I was
sure.
like, I'm so
Yeah.
upset that
Yeah.
I think that
That
you're
you
doing an
like.
amazing
Yeah, I
job in
know.
this icky role.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so icky.
Yeah.
I felt gross
Yeah.
being like, you're doing so good.
Yeah.
Um, but so I mean, like honestly, like you're saying, pretty much anyone could win this, and I'd be like, well, makes sense.
Mhm.
But I pick Jacob Elordi. I would love for Delroy to win or Benicio to
Mm.
win. Has
Sure.
Benicio won
Benicio did win for Traffic.
Traffic? Okay, all right,
Yeah,
okay,
25 years
all right.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, he deserves another one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's got one. Sean
Was-
Penn's got 2 already. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was
mean,
gonna
it
say
seemed
I
like
thought Sean
sorry.
Penn would have won something for acting.
So yeah,
Mhm.
so Delroy or
Yeah.
Jacob. I think that's what I'm gonna go with. One of those two.
Yeah.
I picked Stellan.
Really?
Yeah.
I want you to open up and expand on that.
Well,
I'm
I
fascinated by that pick.
I'm gonna eat a chip while you do.
I like the
Do it.
potato chip. Potato chip?
Corn chip.
ASMR.
Darn. I was trying to make an anime reference, but anyways,
Oh.
No.
um, I like the tension between him and Renata.
Mm.
Just they really build that really well. And talking about physical media, I love that scene where he gives the kid the birthday present, the 2
Yeah.
movies on DVD.
A Michael Haneke
Yeah.
movie and Gaspar Noé.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen The Piano Teacher, but now I have to because I'm like, I missed the reference here.
Mhm.
But Irreversible, I know, so it's just like,
Yeah.
I get that joke. And then
Yeah.
and it's like, he doesn't know that. You know, we don't have a
Yeah.
DVD player. It's like, okay, well, you have the
Yeah.
movies.
Mhm. Oh my god. Yeah.
Just
that-
give someone a cassette tape or, of some
Yeah.
or VHS of a movie and
Yeah.
just be like,
Oh, that was such
So
the
good.
perfect punchline. Like,
Yeah.
we don't have a player.
yeah, exactly.
So good.
I've heard that so many times from like, I was at Half Price Books.
Mm.
It's like, oh, I want to look at the movies. And it's like, we don't own a DVD player. It's like, well, get one. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure Half Price Books has plenty.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Stellan because there's more internal work going on there for me personally, I think.
Mhm.
But
Sure.
but I do
Yeah.
see, yeah, there's it's kind of a double-edged sword with Sean Penn, the character, the actor, and then
Yeah.
but I'm like, is that the actor or is that the directing? Is that the edit,
Right,
things
yeah.
like this?
Mhm.
I think it's a little bit of everything, but yeah, it's just and yeah, just seeing. And he didn't show up for the actors. What was that? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just that character is it's like you don't want to like this. It's like, nah, you're doing good at this, so damn it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, it's incredible. Like,
So
I
yeah,
wrote
I
in my
wouldn't be
review, it's like
surprised. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
And after seeing the actors, it's like, oh, will it go that way? I don't know. Huh.
Yeah. 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 I mean, yeah, it's always
Maybe not.
It's always an exciting race.
Yeah.
That
And
one.
usually it's one of the first ones presented as supporting. So
Mhm.
it's like
Mhm.
usually the first one just to get people into the Oscars with
Yeah.
an acting
Sure.
category.
Yeah.
All right. So next category, actor in a leading role. Timothy Chalamet.
Timmy Shay Shay. Sure.
Oh yeah, is that
I
If you're
just
Adam
keep-
Sandler.
Chalamet?
Yeah. Chalamet.
What are the other? What was that the one that Kristen Bell came up with?
It was like Tim Shals or something. It
Yeah,
was
it was
like a
something
whole-
like that.
Oh, it was Nikki Glazer who made that and then asked Sandler if he would say it, and he did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can you
okay.
give us a Chalamet?
But there was no, not yeah,
Yeah.
the Chalamet one, but there was one on
In,
the actors last.
Oh,
Yeah,
do they do it as
'cause her-
the? Oh,
Kristen
okay.
Bell did
Yeah,
one, yeah,
she
shortening
did a
Oh,
people's names.
song about like shortening like your stage name or your actor name for your SAG card,
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like
okay.
had shortened or silly like nicknames for
A mashup of a
everyone.
name.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
It
gonna have
was
to watch that.
so
I didn't
yeah,
watch the actors, so
it
yeah.
was
It's like in the
it
it's
was
in the
good.
intro, so if you
Oh,
watch it,
okay.
it's like right up front. Yeah.
Cool.
Marty
Yeah.
Supreme,
Mhm.
Leonardo DiCaprio, one battle after another.
Mhm.
Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon.
Walk.
I'm
Walk.
doing this. Michael B. Jordan, the only normal name, Sinners. And Wagner Moura. No.
Wagner.
Wagner,
Wagner.
the secret agent, don't you know? Um, my pick is Michael B. Jordan. Although I've been saying it wrong. Wagner? Wagner?
Wagner.
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 Like
I
Richard
love him
Wagner.
so much. Since like the days of
Yeah.
Narcos on Netflix, it's just like,
Mhm.
He's in Narcos?
yeah, he's Pablo Escobar. So
Okay, so it's got him and Pedro, because now
yes, yes.
Mhm.
The
Oh
first
my gosh.
two or three seasons, I forget.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Watch that.
that he had me then, and then that's what got after watching Narcos, it got me into all his like where else is he?
Mhm.
He should be in more,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then seeing him in this one, I'm like, oh, good, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's so
Yeah.
so
that's
charismatic.
that's one I would also want. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. First time I ever saw Wagner Moura was in Civil War.
oh
Which
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought
I
he
love
was
it.
great in.
He's the press guy, yeah, with
Yeah.
Kristen.
The, sort of
Oh,
the
yeah.
adrenaline junkie press guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't even recognize him from that.
yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
so
But
good.
yeah. No, I thought he was just fabulous in The Secret Agent. That was like for everything that was happening and for some of the stylistic big swings that it was going for, like I felt like he just kept it. I keep saying this, but like he kept it like really grounded, but he's
Yep.
also
Mhm.
just like so quietly magnetic
Yes.
that, you know, it's like he's not
Yeah.
doing big things and you're just like drawn to him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I mean he's incredibly handsome, so that's one reason why.
Yeah.
But like
true.
just
Like-
there's something behind the eyes that just has you
Yeah.
just like I just want to know everything you're thinking.
Yeah.
And his voice is
Mhm.
very good.
And like every little tiny subtle like twitch of his mouth or like movement or like
Mm.
he does just the tiniest thing and you're just like, oh my God, what was that about? Whereas
Right.
like
yeah.
some people do it and you're
like
like,
where am I?
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
What should I be paying attention to
Yes.
that he just saw and I didn't?
Like I
Yeah.
want to know what you know and see what you see and like
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Timothy Chalamet, I thought he was a lock for a long time, but I don't like that character. And I have no problem with unlikable characters, but I just didn't, I don't know. I expected it to come to a point, like even in
Yeah.
a Midnight Cowboy sort of way, and it really
Mhm.
didn't for me. One battle, Leonardo's performance. It's my favorite Leonardo performance. I think
Yeah.
it's his funniest performance since The Wolf of Wall Street, but I felt like it's
Mhm.
so unadorned and so immediate and raw, and that's something that Paul Thomas Anderson just like brings out of his actors, where there's just like no artifice to
Mhm.
it. You know, like he's always putting a little something extra on top, and here it just felt like very stripped down, and he's doing some of his richest, funniest work in this movie. Ethan Hawke, I'm happy to see that he has a nomination, and I think it's well deserved. Michael B. Jordan does some incredible work. I mean, he would be my pick. Yeah, he's my pick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rahana.
Yeah. I was just trying to see quick if Uncut Gems. Sandler wasn't nominated
No, the Academy
for
doesn't
Uncut
like
Gems, right?
Sandler.
Okay. If Sandler if Sandler doesn't get nominated for Uncut Gems, Timmy Shells doesn't deserve to be at the awards for this movie. Like, I just can't even. Oh my gosh, he just
Oh.
it was. His performance was fine. The movie was fine. Like, there is nothing groundbreaking about his performance, except that it made me want to punch Timothy Chalamet. Like,
Yeah.
that's the only groundbreaking thing that happened. I just, oh, anyway.
Face breaking
Like,
performance.
Yeah. I agree with you, Leonardo DiCaprio. This is my favorite performance of his. I loved it. I loved him. I was like, this is just perfect. I'm so happy with this. Like, yes.
Mhm.
Ethan Hawke, haven't watched it. I'm not going to comment. Michael B. Jordan. I'm gonna come back to that. Wagner Mora. Again, I only watched an hour, but even in that hour, he was my favorite part. He's the reason I want to keep watching. Like,
Oh yeah,
solely
keep going.
because
It
of
gets
him.
better.
Solely because of
Yeah.
him. I'm like, I'm obsessed with this guy. He's amazing. Uh, and yeah. So and okay. So Michael B. Jordan, I love him in general. He's amazing. The fact that he's three distinctly different characters in this film perfectly. He is Smoke, he is Stack, and he is Stack as a vampire. Okay? Three totally different characters perfectly. Perfectly. Like, you forget that it's the same person and that there isn't actually two of him in this movie. And that is difficult to do with movies like that. Like,
Yeah.
and he brings such realness and like, and works with himself and fights with himself and like has just like he's built the entire relationship that these twins have over all of the trauma that comes with being a black man in the 1930s, 1920s, it like in the South in America. And also like going and doing what they did up in Chicago and coming back and like these are our plans and like and it just there's so much there that he completely built and built that relationship with himself as these other characters. There is no one else. I don't think that there's anyone else that could have done that role and nailed it the way that he nailed it. That's kind of what I'm taking a step back with like this and saying like, could somebody else have been Marty and Marty Supreme? Easily. I could easily see somebody else crush that role. No big deal. Leonardo DiCaprio, okay, maybe not with that role. Like he crushed that role, so I don't think anybody else could have. But it's still not as impressive as Michael B. Jordan being three different people. I'm so, and honestly, I just love Michael B. Jordan in general, and I feel like he deserves his props. And if this is not what gives it to him, then I don't know what does. I don't understand what qualifies you to win an Oscar if not what he did. But yeah, Timmy Chalamet doesn't deserve to be here. Jesse Plemons does. Even if Jesse Plemons was there, Michael B. Jordan should win. That's my, if Michael B. Jordan does not win this, and then my shocker, I'm gonna go to the next one. Sinner should win Best Picture. Like I'm livid. Like the Oscars are just the dumbest thing ever. If they just bypass this, I don't care. Like I don't care. So anyway, that's my very strong, opinionated take.
Would you like to
Yes, I would. Okay.
present?
Best Picture, because I've got things to say. Bugonia, F1, which I was shocked about, but also kind of like, yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah,
Sure.
cool.
Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams.
Okay, so did you all rank them?
No,
I ranked them,
Okay.
I'll rank them now if you guys go
Okay.
first.
but I feel like me ranking them, it tells you what I think.
You
but
can
that's
start
fine.
with one,
Yeah.
and, like start with
Yeah,
your number
okay.
one pick and then go down. Yeah.
No, I'm going to start with 10.
Okay, go.
All right.
I like it.
So 10, Marty Supreme. 9, Train Dreams. There was a lot that I liked about Train Dreams.
Mhm.
I just didn't connect with it as much as I wanted to. I
Yeah.
think at the point that I reached it, it had been maybe hyped a certain way. Um, there's a lot that I loved about it, but it would still be kind of lower for me. 8, Hamnet. Um, 7, F1. 6, Frankenstein. 5, Begonia. 4, Sentimental Value. 3, The Secret Agent. And it's one of those where depending on the day you ask me, it's going to flip flop. But right now,
Yeah.
my ranking is 2 Sinners and one battle after another. I
Yeah.
think, and I think the reason why one battle for me is just that when the movie started, knowing that Paul Thomas Anderson had been working on the movie for like 20 years, just like in
That's
different
bonkers.
forms.
Mhm.
And the fact that it was about stuff that was that's happening right now.
Mhm.
That opening scene
Yeah.
where they're at the detention center, I was like, holy crap. Like
Mhm.
I didn't know it was going to go so deep so fast.
Yeah.
And I think it's about revolution. It's about what happens when you don't take care of yourself in revolution. And it's about finding the joy and passing it on. And also it's just so effing funny and so
Yes.
like I just felt every single emotion from
Mhm.
the fun filmmaking stuff, like the needle drops to my stomach dropping on the
Mhm.
the car chase, a car chase, like 3 cars with and actually every film I thought about for number 1, I go, ooh, but you know what? Hamnet does not have that car chase. I'm like,
Yeah.
Sinners does not have that car chase.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
just like I was so invested at that point, and the fact, it's like it's 3 cars and they're not even changing lanes.
Mhm.
It's just yeah. Anyway, I could go on for another hour about why I love this movie.
It's
Isn't
But
it based on a true
yeah.
story too? Is that right?
which One Battle?
Yeah, one battle.
No, it's based on it's inspired by a book called Vineland by Thomas Pynchon,
Oh, okay.
which Paul Thomas Anderson adapted his book Inherent Vice, and while he adapted that one like pretty literally on the page, kind of more one to one, this one he kind of took the spine of, and then similar to like There Will Be Blood, he just sort of like took the parts that he liked and then went in a different direction with it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Number 10 for me would be Train Dreams. 9 would be Marty Supreme.
You
8,
haven't seen Marty
You
Supreme
haven't
and you're
even
giving it
seen
number
it.
9?
I don't know. Train
I'm gonna tell you right
Dreams.
now, you're wrong.
Okay, yeah, I have no idea. So those could be intertwined. They both lose.
I'm like
Okay.
insulted. I am insulted right
It's
now.
like Alien versus Predator.
I'm-
Whoever
I'm
wins,
like-
we lose.
I'm like about to do the same thing, and I'm just like, I'm so insulted.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, and I feel like I don't want to now. So yeah, maybe it does switch. I don't
I
know.
wouldn't.
Um, let's see. Where was I? Number 8.
Yeah. Sorry.
F1 and
Okay.
FU. No.
Yeah, that checks out.
Okay, I think 7 and yeah, okay. 7 would be The Secret Agent. 6 would be Hamnet. 5 is Frankenstein. 4 is One Battle After Another. Sentimental Value is number 3. And Begonia is number 2. So Sinners is number
Okay.
1.
Yeah.
But it's no Honora.
Oh, that's one last year, Zach, that I was like one of the two people on the planet that did not appreciate the movie Anora. It
Mm.
gave me the same, like, it gave me Uncut Gem vibes, but again, where
Yes.
everyone's a terrible person, like Marty Supreme, and to the point where, and there's this, I think honestly, the screaming, it got to me, and I was like, I can't
Sure.
handle it anymore. I can't even root for these people, so I can't
Mm.
like get through the screaming enough to root for the people, and it was a
Yeah.
struggle. Anyway, this is not about last year. This is
Yeah.
about Sinners.
I will say, if I could interject
Yeah.
briefly,
Oh
like
yeah.
at the end of Anora, I wanted to know that the characters were going to be okay.
Yeah, that's
At
true.
Marty Supreme, I was like, you couldn't cut to the credits fast enough. Even if I was enjoying it, I'm just like, once it was over, I'm just like, these characters went
Hmm.
back onto the film reel they came from. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about them anymore.
No.
Once they're out of my sight.
I'm with you. I was kind of hoping they wouldn't be okay at the end of Marty Supreme. I was kind of like, no, you don't deserve the happy ending.
Can we
What are we
spoil
doing?
it? Can we spoil it? For
Yeah,
Let's
everyone?
spoil
I
it.
didn't-
Alan, we're
I,
spoiling it.
I don't see it as a happy ending because it's like he had this gift and now he had this purpose and he had this thing that he was trying to do, and now he's got a kid, so he can't even do that dream anymore. It's like, you got a kid
Right.
now.
But also, the whole time,
Ah, sucker.
the whole time he's like, there's no way it's my kid. There's no way I'm the father. You're a
Yeah.
liar. I'm not the dad. And he was an ass to this lady,
Yeah.
to this chick who loves him. And then like he's just a horrible person to everybody else, and he bails on her, and then he's sleeping with another lady who's also married and using her, and then using her husband and using everybody and sleeping with everybody. And then he like comes back
Sleeps
once
with everyone.
he's well
Pretty
just
much.
her, but
Oh,
like then he
okay.
comes back after the like final game, which isn't even a real final game,
Mhm.
and then he like shows up to the hospital, and he's like, I'm here for you, I'm here now. And then he goes to see his baby and he's crying, he's like, oh, my baby, crying. And I'm like, what is happening? Go away. Like, you have been horrible to these people this whole time. You have not once said, yes, this is my baby. Like, what is
Yeah.
so mad at him? Timothy Chalamet, it's not his fault.
It's like a
Okay.
philanderer
Anyway,
sort of thing.
he's an
Just
idiot
a-
kid.
Just yeah. Well, I mean, the movie is about being like an idiot in your 20s.
Yeah,
Like
he
the
does
most
it very
the
well.
most extreme version of being an idiot in your 20s.
Right. Like, this is the right decision. I'm gonna make something else. Yeah. Okay.
Table tennis is going to be huge
Yes.
in America.
Yeah, that's a quote. Okay, so Marty Supreme is number 10 for me.
Yep.
And this is why it's funny that I was giving Alan shit, because I put The Secret Agent at number 9 when I've only seen an hour of it. I don't even know what the movie's totally about. And it's number 9 because I dislike Marty Supreme so much. Sentimental Value is number 8. I really liked it. I probably won't ever watch it again,
Mm.
but I did enjoy it. Number 7 was Train Dreams. Again, it depressed me so much I don't think I could watch it again, but God, it was beautiful, and I really I think because I expected to hate it and fall asleep so much, it actually shocked me. So it like feels like such a So number 7. Number 6 is Hamnet. The first 45 minutes I was kind of like, I don't care, but then after that, the trauma is what really hooked me. I was like, now I'm in.
Oh,
Just sad.
That kid was amazing too. Like,
So good.
yeah.
Oh.
Does anyone feel like he was snubbed, or do you think that's too young to get nominated?
I don't think it actually. That's a good question. Are there age limits?
Well, there are. I mean, there have
so.
been children who have been nominated and won, so it's
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, I thought he was
He was
extraordinary.
so good.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. No, I agree with you. That's a really good point.
Mm.
But yeah, and then number 5, I put Bugonia because I expected to not like it. I was very invested the whole time. I was like, what's happening?
Yep.
He's crazy, but she's also kind of a terrible person. But
Yep.
also, I don't know who I'm rooting for. Both of
Exactly.
them, neither of them. I don't know, but I'm entertained.
Yeah.
And then surprise. I thought it was so good. Number 4 is F1. And part of that is probably because I've seen it so much, because that is actually my partner, Jer, his favorite movie of the year. So we have seen it a lot. And I really I like the character dynamics between so many of the characters. And honestly, not Brad Pitt, but the other driver, JP.
Mm-hmm.
I love him. I thought he was great, and I really like him as an actor. And yeah, anyway, uh, the movie made me care about racing when I think racing is super boring. So I was like, that's impressive. Number three is Frankenstein, again, because it was so beautiful and moved me so much, and I never would have expected it. I will definitely watch that again. Number two, One Battle After Another. And honestly, for a while, I was like, is that number one? I don't know. Like, I love that movie too. So I totally hear where you're coming from. Um, but at the end of the day, I would say One Battle After Another is one of my top two movies of the year. I think Sinners is in my top 10 of all time. Like, I love that movie. Probably top
Yeah.
five of all time. Like, I love every single tiny aspect of that movie. There's nothing that I'm like, I don't really care. I don't get it or what. Like, I'm obsessed. So I think Sinners should win. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be so mad. Although
It's
if
gonna
One
be
Battle After
Hamnet.
Another wins, I'll also be like, yeah, that's such a good freaking movie. But I want Sinners to win so bad.
Sure. Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, this is kind of like how the Academy does it, the rank voting, right?
Yeah.
So everyone's
That's a good
like
point.
number 2 or 3 is really the bigger
Yeah.
win, so to speak.
I will say, movie snubbed from Best Picture, and I'm so butthurt about it, is Wicked. And I say
Oh,
that
yes.
because last year, and
Good for
also John Chu for director.
Mm.
And honestly, Cynthia Erivo for leading
Yeah.
actress, it's snubbed across the board. And I'm upset about it because none of it won last year. And that's because everybody was like, well, they're going to do what like Dune did or something, and it's going to win the second year because it's a two-part and blah, blah, blah. And then they didn't even nominate it. So mad because it was so good. So good. Love it. I'm I'm mad about. This is my anger coming out. Just mad. Mad at Timothy Chalamet, and I'm mad that Wicked got snubbed.
So
It's a brilliant movie.
we have Sinners and One Battle After Another.
Yep.
Yeah, what are your favorite films of the year? Like, if it's not here, obviously, other than your top picks
Sinners and
here,
One Battle After Another.
yeah. What is the films that you enjoyed this year that just aren't here? Like Weapons, obviously, is one for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm glad it's actually on the ballot in some way, but
Yeah. I feel like it did deserve more, but yeah. I get
well,
it.
if we trade out Marty Supreme, apparently, but because it's Team Chalamet, then it's like, well, it's gonna get in, or just like Emma Stone's
Yeah.
films get in because
Mhm.
because they're loaded already with Academy members. So
Sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
and then I liked did you all see the Amateur with Rami Malek and Lawrence Fishburne?
No,
That was good. I liked that
I wanted to see it. I did not.
action thriller.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I recommend it. Go watch it if you can find it on, I think, Hulu or Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And then I also liked Thunderbolts. So
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought Thunderbolts was great. I loved it. Yeah, that was in my top 10 for a long time, but it's in my honorable mentions.
okay,
Yeah. Can I go through my honorable mentions real quick?
Yeah.
So yeah, my honorable mentions from my list from last year. I'll just do the ones that were not nominated. Materialists, No Other Choice,
Yes.
Is This Thing On? Jay Kelly, Thunderbolts, Eddington, Mickey 17, The Naked Gun, The Phoenician Scheme, The Mastermind, Black Bag,
Go, 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 go.
The
go,
Life
go.
of Chuck, and The Long Walk. And then
Mm.
from my top 10, not that I think any of these should have been nominated, but Friendship was number 2 on my top 10.
Mm.
And let's see. I
Nice.
also have let's see, Superman was on there, and
Mhm.
Oh wow.
so was Die My Love, which totally got
Oh,
shut out. I was
want to
pretty
see that
surprised by
so
that
bad.
one.
Mhm.
I thought Jennifer Lopez was doing just like, or not Jennifer Lopez,
Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence,
Yeah.
was doing just some incredible work in that movie.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I was surprised that didn't get nominated for anything.
hmm
Yeah.
So.
I really want to see Die My Love. I haven't seen it yet, but I will share in any outrage that it's not nominated because I'm all team Jennifer Lawrence. I agree with you on a lot of movies you said, and then also Warfare is one that I
Oh
loved that
yeah,
didn't
I
get
missed that one.
I think should have been nominated for something. And part of the reason why I think I loved it so much is because again, my partner like that's what he did when he was in the army and was deployed.
Mm.
And so he like as we were watching it, like after watching military like war movies, I tried to get his take like, okay, what did you notice that like didn't get right? And he
Right.
was like,
Yeah.
everything was like exact. They got every detail right. Like they did such a good. This might be the best, the most like accurate war
hmm
film ever. And the fact that it shows that like you're really just sitting around waiting until it's happening. Like
Mm.
and he's like that was probably the most accurate depiction of war that I've seen in a movie, and I was like, oof, that is rough. And I thought everyone did a great job in it. So that, and then uh oh gosh, there was one other one I can't remember what it was. Doesn't matter. Wicked, I guess is another one. So
Mm.
I
Yeah.
think those two were the two that I saw this year that really like stood out, and I was like, man.
hmm
But I do want to see The Long Walk though.
hmm
That one looks so
Yeah.
good. It looks so messed up.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was great. Just the two lead actors, Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson. And yeah, it's definitely in the like, Stand By Me, Shawshank category
Yeah.
of Stephen King adaptations.
Mhm.
Yeah, and actually, I saw it in the theater, and because they have to, I noticed at some point while watching the movie that I was moving my feet along with them, like
Really?
just like, oh wow, I'm on this walk too in my reclined seat.
Wow.
Yeah. But I like couldn't stop my legs from moving because I was like,
Yeah.
well, I don't want to get shot,
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, that says something if a movie can like
Yeah,
affect you that
yeah.
way without even like
Mhm.
subconsciously. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
and also that director too, Francis Lawrence, who's
Mhm.
done the Hunger Games movies. It
Yeah.
felt like a different type of movie for him, but also not. And I thought he just did a phenomenal job. I have not read the book. I'm not much of a reader in terms of like I don't read a lot of fiction, and
Mhm.
if there's a movie, often
Yeah.
what'll happen is like a movie will bring me to the book if I'm curious, but
Yeah.
I don't often be like, oh, I got to read the book before I see the movie because I'm just like they can exist as two different mediums,
Yeah.
and that's fine. It doesn't have to be
Plus, I
one-on-one.
feel like that tends to ruin movies for people versus like if you watch the movie and then you read the book, you are able to like appreciate them for the like separate identities.
Mhm.
Like it just, yeah. Otherwise, you're too invested if you've
Yeah.
read the book first, and then you get like
Yeah.
offended by.
Missing
Right,
parts
right.
Yeah.
because you left that out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you, Zach, for joining us tonight. It's been a
Oh,
long
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
run. Thank you. This is probably one of our longest episodes ever, but no, I'm just kidding.
But so fun. I'm so glad you were able to join us.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Um,
too. Happy to be here. Thank you for
yeah.
having me.
And thank you to everyone who stuck with us this whole time and firmly agrees with everything we said. Uh, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Let's see how we did when it comes to Oscar night. And until next time, this has been Film and Beyond.
Well done.